games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Hey there, it's Russ Rollins. Get your carpets and tile clean without sticky, soapy chemical residue left behind. Zero Res cleans the right way at the right price. Get 3 bedrooms of carpet clean for only $147, and the 4th room is free. Visit OrlandoZeroRes.com. Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Visit Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa today to sign up for Unity by Hard Rock, the global loyalty program unlike any other, designed to reward you for doing what you love. New members receive a limited edition Seminole Hard Rock Tampa t-shirt and can play up to $200 on us. Slots, tables, stays, dining. Get rewarded for your experience. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Your oasis awaits at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Tuesday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day, and we do have a good program set up for you this afternoon. We'll get you caught up on what's happening in the world. Deb does that around 3:20 with JCS News. 4 o'clock, it's What'd You Do That's New. We'll go over Deb's choice of the origin and reason why we should change from Asperger's syndrome. We should stop saying that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, learned something new.
That was a bit shocking.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, almighty. 5 o'clock hour, it's trivia. Tons of cool stuff to give away there. And, of course, we'll end it up with It's Only Money. Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. We'll do Your Heard It Here first. Your call, sex, and talkbacks all day long, plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000. Welcome to the program. I'm Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
407-916-1041. That's how you call the show. Text us easily at 77031. Find us on social, Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On X, just at Jim Colbert Show. All day, every day, JimColbertLive.com. You can also send us a talkback if you'd like. That's very easy. Grab that iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio. You'll see that microphone. Use that to send your comment over to Jack. Your 3 o'clock keyword is GRAND. G-R-A-N-D.
Get that grand.
Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. GRAND, guys. That is your 3 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We'd love to have a winner this week. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah, only 2 so far, and they both have been out of state.
Yeah. That's crazy. And the Monsters are like 2 in one day or one morning the other morning.
Yeah.
It's insane. How you guys doing on this Tuesday?
Feeling pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, that's right. Deb kicked off the stream by herself today. I love that.
Yeah, no, that's not even the real reason.
Oh, what else did you do? You're just full of accomplishments today.
I am. Something that would make Jack very, very proud.
You saved money on something.
Yes, I did. What did I save money on today, Jack?
Lunch.
That's right. Who brought in leftovers?
Oh, did you really?
This girl right here.
That's the first time ever, I think.
Come on now.
Not only that, she didn't even take the easy way out. She went the better way.
Which is?
She could have just brought in one of these common plastic containers and throw it in the microwave to heat her lunch, but no.
No,
not our Deb.
Nay.
She went a more health-conscious driven route.
Okay.
Of bringing in a real bowl and real utensils.
Nice. Stoneware.
Not to heat her food in plastic.
Oh, yeah.
And then the plastic wasn't. This is an Olive Garden.
Yeah, you saw
and she's reusing a to-go container.
That's nice.
Bravo.
And it's so funny. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's weird you say that, though. You know, Ziploc is getting sued right now. Did you guys see that story?
No.
Yeah, because the whole idea of, people heating stuff up in those bags and it leaching plastics into their food and stuff. There's a whole big movement of that microplastic thing now is a gigantic story everywhere.
Well, and I was thinking about this because one of the things baffling doctors right now is the number of people under the age of 30 that are being diagnosed with cancer.
100, that story's been going on for about a year and a half now.
Exactly. And I think now, finally, the microplastics and the PFCs, those forever chemicals, are going to finally get a closer look.
Right.
And maybe just for the sake of future generations, because we're probably that last generation that were raised with our food not being heated up in plastic.
Yeah, no way.
We didn't have microwaves.
No.
I mean,
my grandmother got one. It was like we might as well have gotten a free robot. I mean, it was like that's exactly what it was like. I mean, we cooked everything in the microwave. It had a dial to choose the time. There are no buttons.
I was a teenager when we got ours.
Yeah, I was younger than that.
I remember, but it was a big thing. And I remember as a Christmas gift one year, I got my mom a microwave leakage detector.
Oh, so you could see if
it was a
rays-
handheld device, and when you run it, you just run it around the outside and see if it's picking up any microwave.
So insane.
That's so old school. But I mean, at the same time, right? You think of everyone under the age of 30, they were raised with all of this, single-use plastic containers and your Go-Gurts and your applesauce you give to the baby is basically
your Capri Suns.
Your
and those
Capri
pouches and
Suns,
stuff.
exactly. It's just one plastic after another from the time they're an infant until the time they're 18. So I wonder if
we're the first generation, or that's the first generation that really sees the impact of that.
Exactly. Because
it's weird. After that whole thing started going, I started reading more of the science on it. I noticed now that if I leave a bottle, like if I get a bottle of water and I drink half of it and I leave it in my truck and I come back out,
water the plants.
I water the plant with that.
Yeah.
I do not drink that.
No.
And look, man,
Or give it to your pets. They don't care.
No.
I'm not one of these guys who freaks out about stuff like this. I don't read 2 stories and go, I'm changing my entire life.
Yeah, no.
But,
What was it, the third or fourth story?
after about 2 years of reading and all science basically saying, convening and going,
So-
this is definitely not good for you. This stuff
No.
is leaching into your water and it's not good.
So, you like to, verify and then verify again. However, if you kind of jumped on in the beginning at those first warning signs, that's 2 years you could have been not ingesting microplastics.
You're 100% right. You are 1,000% right.
That's weird. Why are you saying?
Yeah.
That's not
I
normal.
brought in
You're right.
leftovers.
That's not normal.
Jimmy's agreeing with Jack.
This is not right.
We're turning into Stranger Things.
I'm leaving.
This is the worst. I had the worst. I don't know about you guys. What can happen that throws your day off? In the beginning of the day, what could happen that would throw your entire day off?
My phone not working.
Rainwater coming into your kitchen.
No way. Is that what happened?
I'm saying that could throw your day off.
Oh, okay.
Talk to me.
Why are you smiling?
Because he
talk to me.
loves your pain just like you love his pain, and this is a near 30-year relationship. Why do you guys still have questions?
Talk to me. Talk to me about water coming in your kitchen, Jack. How can I help? How can I help?
I got an expert. I already called my
called
buddy
Mikey?
Mike the home builder.
Okay,
yeah. At hbnusa.com. He's sending a crew to check it out.
All right.
But yesterday in those heavy rains,
Oh, no.
it's like my wife got back. She went to Aldi in this store because it's what she does.
Right, sure.
And she came, and I'm like, oh, she must have just been dripping when she came in because there was water on the floor there, and I throw down a towel to clean it up, and then go do something else. I come back and there's more water.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute.
That's
And
not
I look up.
Is it coming through a light socket by any chance?
It is.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
It's coming, through a light
fixture.
track light fixture.
Yeah, that's
oh,
exactly
track
right,
lighting, that's always bad news.
Well, it's just what happens upstairs. It kind of gathers, then goes into the areas where there are, where it can find its way down. So a lot of that time, I had that happen in a house one time, and I looked up at my light, and I was like, "Did we order new lights?
Yeah.
That have like water in them or something? Do I not know about
Oh,
this?"
I had that happen in my house that I was renting in Eatonville. Walked into the second bedroom and went, oh, wow, look, a waterfall.
Oh yeah.
Right through the ceiling.
Mine was because the AC was mounted in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And the pan gave
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Oh.
The pan gave out. Guess how he fixed it? This is a professional plumber of 35 years.
Wet vac.
No. Well, you wet back for sure.
Big sponge.
And then dried the area and did it with that the spray flex. What's it called?
Oh, Flex Seal.
Yeah, Flex Seal.
Oh.
He comes. And this guy has been in this business for a billion years, and he's walking up and he has this in his back pocket as if it's a can of snuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, "What is that? What are you doing?" He goes, "You're not," and he started laughing at me because he knew he'd been busted. He's like, "You simply can't believe how good this stuff is for stuff like this." He goes, "I'll find this little pinhole in this pan, and instead of replacing this entire pan, I'll dry it off with my torch so there's no water, no nothing, and I'll spray the complete piss out of it from both sides, and you'll never see this thing leak again."
Oh, think of the money saved.
That stuff is amazing. I went out and bought like 2 cans of Flex Seal that day. Just because.
I've never used it, and I've always wanted to.
It's badass.
I've used it to repair a crack in a bird bath.
Yeah, only spray though. I don't get any of the other stuff. I used the spray can.
So that's funny. We had a bird bath that cracked once. It was a big glass one. It cracked, and I went to Ace Hardware because I wanted to get glue, non-toxic glue, because if it's going to have water that they're going to be drinking, you want to make sure it's good for that.
That's why I sealed it from the bottom.
Yeah.
Instead of on the inside.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, and to the person who texted that it was leftovers, oh, no, my friend. That was an old Olive Garden dish that I had washed and saved. Look at me trying to make Jack happy.
I like
Look
that.
at that. I ate mom's
It's a brilliant
spaghetti.
move.
Some of it's good.
They send you home with these to-go containers that have a lot of life in them.
Let me tell you,
you wash them by hand, you use them, you can get a good run out of that. Good few months.
You see that Factor thing that people are talking about now,
yeah.
the microwavable like chef quality dishes, Factor or whatever.
The ones you said you like, but you eat 6 at a time.
Yeah, my wife got them, and I do. I have to eat like 2 for it to really matter.
Right.
But the little plates they're in are like dual. It's like the proteins in the bigger one, and then the other whatever the other side is in the other one. We keep those every single because they're perfectly well made.
They're perfect for lunch,
and I use them for leftovers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
It doesn't make sense to throw those into a landfill.
What can throw you off at the beginning of the day? You said your phone going something wrong with it?
Well, example, just trying to get onto your computer and do anything. I've been having an issue with an app that we use to get into our HR stuff, and I cannot get it fixed.
The things you rely on every day, just when they go wonky, it's everything stops. You can't do what you have to do because you have to deal with this new problem.
And you have to and what you're supposed to do.
Into your
where is your entire life? Is it on your phone?
Yeah,
there's a good portion of it.
Is your entire life on your phone?
Phone and iPad.
So for me, the show, my entire life is on my laptop. You know, the one the screen died in this morning.
Didn't you recently deal with that?
I did. Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah. I did, yes. 100%. Warranty issue the first time, warranty issue on a bad screen the second time, and it is currently at Code Black's shop right now getting yet another screen. But the problem is I have this little Mac that my wife has that we use as a backup, but it doesn't have like the capabilities the other one does, and it just has thrown my entire day off. I literally didn't even start doing anything for the show until like 10 o'clock this morning. And if you know me,
that's 4 hours late.
Yeah, 4 hours late.
That's 4 hours late.
By 10, I'm done. By 10, I've set it down. I go, okay, well, what can I accomplish for me today?
Yeah.
So this thing has me thrown completely off today. It's the wildest thing. I used to bust Russ's ass all the time about this stuff when we worked together on the Monsters, because he is like that, like times 50. Like one little thing goes wrong and it can throw him off really bad because he's a very kind of
regimented,
super regimented. This happens at this time.
Yep.
This happens at this time. And I mean,
if it doesn't,
it's almost Rain Man-esque, to be honest with you. And I used to bust him up pretty bad about it because I didn't have that gene then. Of course, I didn't have the responsibility of running a radio show at that point.
Yeah.
I showed up and did my D jokes, and then I went off, on my merry way. Now,
I'm gonna go get a Starbucks.
I didn't have the entire responsibility of that thing resting on my shoulders, and now this laptop's dead, and I swear to God, I almost called in sick today.
I can't do it.
I just can't do it.
So you know what's been a great thing that happened, and at first everyone's like, the cloud. I don't know about this cloud.
Oh,
business.
yeah, dude, that is 100%.
However, the fact that, when I had a work laptop, you replace it. Even when your phone, you replace. It's backed up in the cloud. You just download the new one, and all of your stuff goes right to the new one.
That is absolutely 100% the truth. The problem is I think my computer pops up and says, you haven't backed up your computer in how many days?
102.
Oh, Jimmy.
How many days do you think my main laptop has been since it's backed up to the iCloud?
Is it more than 100?
Is it 2018?
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
What'd you say?
2018?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. Don't tell me I'm close.
No. Last time his screen was repaired. Let's go 2022.
When, Jimmy?
I think it's about 1,430 days. So I think I haven't backed it up in 3 years or so. It should be fine, right?
Sure.
It's good. It's good. Everything's fine. I'm going to have to back up emails from people who haven't worked here for 2 years. All right, 407-916-1041. Don't forget your 3 o'clock keyword is GRAND, G-R-A-N-D. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. What you got for news, kiddo?
Oh, good news. The Transportation Department says Newark fixes up there in New Jersey, they could take years. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Closer to home, good news here. Central Florida records record rainfall.
Super good news.
And another first for the NFL. We'll talk about that and more coming up next during JCS News.
Very good. Let's take a little break. We'll come back and get Deb's news and more of the Jim Colbert Show. Stay put.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Did Angelique and Daisy get lost?
I hope they're kissing.
Oh, God almighty.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
There's an accident reported on Weatherby Road just east of Orange Blossom Trail. A disabled vehicle's getting cleared up on State Road 429 northbound before Sidell Road. That's off to the shoulder there. Traffic's piling up on the ramp from I-4 westbound to State Road 408 eastbound. There's some slowdowns through the city on I-4, and you could expect your regular delays approaching that Lake Buena Vista area on I-4 as well. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go. But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where our trained technicians only pour premium Valvoline oil for a quick and easy stay in your car oil change. Go to VIOC.com for money-saving coupons.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at FAS Exteriors. These guys are awesome. They actually installed windows and doors in a couple of my homes here in Central Florida, and they absolutely killed it. The one thing I do remember about going into the showroom at FAS is how many choices there are. So many different styles of windows and so many different styles of doors. No way possible you can't find something that will really make your house look amazing. That's what they do. And their expert team of window and door installers makes the entire project seamless from measurement all the way down to that final inspection. They've been doing it since 2005, guys, and FAS has certainly earned their spot as Orlando's top-rated window and door experts. Upgrade your home today with a team that delivers excellence. Simply visit FASWD.com, and as always, trust the leader in windows and doors.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Summer's coming. That means the summer heat is coming as well. That means your AC will be working hard, and that's a lot of electricity. How do you save on that? Go solar, baby. Solar panels can help reduce your electric costs. You get a solar battery backup system. You can protect your home from power outages. So when the lights dim during the storms, yours stay bright. Go to solarsource.com for all your solar needs, whether you want to heat your pool water, produce electricity, or store that electricity in your home. Solar Source is your one-stop solar shop, in business for 40 years in Central Florida with over 60,000 installs. For all your solar needs, it's solarsource.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this Air France radio message. Craving an unforgettable destination where culture, history, architecture, romance, and the excellence of French gastronomy all meet? With Air France, Paris and all its delights have never been closer. From May 21st, make the most of our new Orlando International Airport nonstop flights to Paris. Elegance is a journey. Air France. See conditions on airfrance.us.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Get away with a great deal. New South is offering 45% off windows and doors for one day only, May 17th, 2025, with an extra 5% off when you arrive at our showroom before noon. That's half off new windows and doors. Plus, you get a vacation voucher on us. Invest in better home protection and get away for some R&R. Bring your window and door measurements to our showroom May 17th, 2025. Offer is subject to conditions. Visit newsouth.com/50.
Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When dealerships compete for your trade, you win at Greenway Kia. Trade your car with us and over 40 Greenway dealerships will compete to buy it. So you get the best possible value, as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value. Wondering what your trade is worth? Get your appraisal online at greenwaykias.com or visit us at East Colonial, West Colonial, and 1792 North in Longwood. I'm Joe Rossi, and Greenway Kia proudly thanks all active and retired military members for your service.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese. Radio.
104.1. You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show.
Hi, I'm Brian from Orlando, and I just won $1,000 listening to Real Radio 104.1. Thank you.
Is that us?
That, my friend, is Brian, who won yesterday at 6 p.m.
Oh, yay! Awesome. Love giving out $1,000.
And sorry, Deb, he lives in Orlando. He's not out of
That's
state.
awesome.
Even better. Yeah, very good. Thanks. And congratulations, Brian. Good job, buddy.
No, I wanted him local, Jack.
Well, let's keep it going. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I'm Jim, Deb, and Jack are here as well. And grand is your 3 o'clock keyword, GRAND. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Just like our buddy Brian just won with us last night around 6 o'clock. Let's get another one.
Let's get 4.
I like handing that money out. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Jack is right over there, and Deb has your news.
It's time for JCS News.
Wow, has this guy got to put his name on everything?
It's in my contract, dude.
Here's the news on the Jim Colbert Show.
You're on top of everything, Jack. As always, JCS News brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. The Transportation Department is working as quickly as possible to fix Newark Liberty Airport's aging air traffic control system, but says it could take up to 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
They're still using like floppy disks.
Despite the equipment issues, which have led to multiple blackouts, United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby tells the Today Show that it's still safe to fly.
And they also have systems on board the airplane where even if the air traffic control radar is down, they can see each other as airplanes in an independent system. And so they maintain separation, they fly circles in the sky, and they get the airplanes on the ground.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys remember this happening like 6 or 7 or 8 months ago or last year over the last few years?
No.
Was there ever this issue at that airport like this? Like
No.
over the last?
Newark?
Yeah.
No, not that I ever recalled.
I wonder why it's so. I wonder why now.
Well, officials say a pair of backup telecommunication lines are now operating again, sending data to Philadelphia, where the air traffic controllers work out of. Now, a controller shortage and runway construction have also been to blame for the ongoing disruptions.
There you go. All right.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is kicking off meetings with airlines today to figure out how many flights will fly out of Newark this summer.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't want to be on one.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll just drive over to New York and fly to that.
I was actually planning on one.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. It's good knowing you, Jack.
Oh, come on now.
Good knowing.
Too soon.
All right, ding, 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 ding. Round 2. It's back to work, even if for just an afternoon for state representatives, as Florida remains without a budget for the new fiscal year, which begins on July 1st. Speaker Daniel Perez admits he doesn't expect any real movement for at least 2 weeks, and I believe he actually quotes Jack Bradshaw.
We have to stop the habit of wasteful spending that this state has become accustomed to. God forbid we are in a recession. In the near future, we are doomed.
I was wondering what it was going to be.
I thought we were flush with cash.
Governor Ron DeSantis touts his over 6 years, nearly quadrupling the state's rainy day fund and paying off more than 40% of the state's debt. He believes the current budget should just be tweaked by paying down debt, supporting law enforcement and road projects, and is holding firm on offering property tax relief. Meanwhile, DeSantis has rejected the Republican Party of Florida's proposed summit between him and House and Senate leaders to talk tax and budget priorities, with the governor saying,
"We're not going to do a dog and pony show. The way it works is people should do their jobs."
Ooh, so far there's no work scheduled for the Senate this week. Go ahead, guys. Just take your time.
Do your job.
Take your time.
And then they're not going to be in there for a couple weeks. Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I like about this
We're in the wrong
little friction? Yeah. Is I think you get closer to honesty.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
as they try to gain points at each other, the truth eventually just comes sweeping out.
Well, and as we know, politics takes place on both sides of the aisle, and a Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School graduate could soon be out as vice chair of the Democratic Party. A Democratic National Committee panel has voted to void its election of David Hogg amid criticism from party officials about his announced plans to oust older Democrats in favor of younger candidates. But party officials said yesterday's vote was based on a procedural challenge mounted by another candidate for vice chair back in February. Hogg released a statement saying the, quote, broader context of his work, end quote, to reform the party loomed large over this vote. The DNC will vote later this year on whether to remove Hogg, who also recently clashed with Democrat strategist, and you know this name, James Carville.
Yes.
For those who don't know, Hogg was at his high school in Parkland when a gunman killed 17 students and staff members back on Valentine's Day in 2018. He has since become an outspoken gun control activist. All right.
I mean, but he's a kid. He's in his 20s.
Early 20s. I mean, so is Maxwell Frost.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like seeing young
I do
people
too.
Here's the thing. That party,
getting involved.
That party needs to be grabbed by the heels, turned upside down, and shaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you what, I read an article today, still no consensus leader of the Democratic Party right now. You can name 5 people that could step out of the shadows and be that person, and still not one person knows if that's who it is. And that's why they're losing.
Well, look at the blowback from one young person saying we need to change the guard, and it's thrown everyone up in arms.
And look what Republicans leaned on to get Donald Trump elected again. Young white males under the age of 30 that they successfully motivated. And however you want to look at how they did it, but guys like Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, and all those people motivated those people to go vote.
President Trump, speaking of him, has signed an executive order he hopes will encourage pharmaceutical companies to lower drug prices for the American healthcare system. One expert, though, says it's not that simple.
The pushback by pharmaceutical industry is you want good research and development into drugs? Well, we need the profits to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to see new innovations in drugs.
Nah, I don't know. But
I
Dr.
don't know.
Stephen Ullman
How much do you need, big dog?
says also America is not a single payer system. So private insurers negotiate private prices individually, and there's no consensus. This plan negotiates this. It's a different patchwork.
We've seen the numbers on just one of their drugs. We saw the numbers on Oxy and the opioids. We saw the numbers they were talking about. The Sackler family was multiple billions of dollars. And I'm not saying it's not expensive to bring a medicine to market in the U.S. It's an average of about $1 billion in 5 years pre-AI, but it still doesn't matter. They're making plenty of money. I mean, it's awash with cash.
Well, not according to them.
You sound like a socialist.
No, I'm not a socialist. I'm just telling you the truth. It's a wash in cash. The pharmaceutical business is a wash in cash. Like the insurance business is a wash in cash.
And he says the president cannot force manufacturers to cut the list price they charge private insurers without an act of Congress. All right, one person is dead and 2 others are hurt after a crash into land. It happened around 8 o'clock this morning on State Road 44 and Shell Road. Troopers say 2 pickup trucks were involved. 1 driver was killed, and the driver and passenger in the second vehicle were injured. The cause of the crash is under investigation, but the driver that was killed has been identified as 74-year-old Bob Hallett, who is the CEO of Skydive DeLand.
Oh, wow, really?
He was the one killed in this morning's accident.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Gosh, the irony of that.
I know. The suspect in last month's mass shooting at Florida State University has made his first appearance in court. 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner appeared remotely from the Wakulla County Jail after he was shot in the jaw by police during the rampage and was recently released from a hospital after several surgeries with several more. Judge Monique Richardson ordered Eichner held without bond and told him not to contact victims, survivors, or witnesses.
No contact means you can't call, right? Text, email, can't contact on social media, and you can't ask anyone to contact those individuals for you.
Did I miss something? How would he be able to do that while incarcerated?
Do what?
Like, how would that guy be able to contact any of those people or email them or do anything that if he was incarcerated?
Because, I mean, look at the cell phone. You have cell phone proliferation in prisons and in jails.
I get it, I guess.
Yeah, or even maybe through written, letters home. Hey, contact this person, tell them to change their story. Eichner said nothing. He faced 2 counts of first-degree murder and 7 counts of attempted murder. Judge Richardson appointed a public defender.
Yeah, he's going to get the death penalty.
I have a feeling he will as well.
He definitely will get the death penalty.
Okay, this next one is from the Idiot File. New documents show an accused killer had a detailed plan for carrying out his crime. David Barber is accused of kidnapping and killing Titusville's Jesse Kirk 2 months ago. Barber had dated her niece and had been reportedly stalking her. Prosecutors released a 12-page document yesterday. It includes a timeline Barber allegedly wrote, a list of items to buy, and reminders to help him hide evidence and to, quote, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rush this.
Right.
Barber is charged with first-degree premeditated murder, and he could get the death penalty, and it is expected because he's a former Brevard County jail deputy.
He sure is, yeah.
So they're expecting absolutely they're going to pursue the death penalty.
Did you
in
see
this
the
case.
burns on his arms?
Yes, that was so gnarly.
I mean, it's as bad as you can imagine. Like, I don't know how that guy dealt with that and didn't pass out. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It really is. And that's how they caught him sneaking around her condo. And then when they look at his arms and they see he's got second and third degree burns, I
mean, tracts of skin just missing. It's crazy.
It was, like you said, Jimmy, I don't know how he was, unless he was just so hyped up on adrenaline that he didn't feel the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because, but I saw those photos myself and I was like, dude, how are you even touching anything?
Yeah.
Ugh. All right. A former Miami-Dade County Police lieutenant is pleading guilty to a series of charges, including attempted first-degree murder. She was accused of shooting at an ex-boyfriend's car and holding cops on an hours-long standoff in 2023.
if you do anything that prompts the state of Florida to file an affidavit against you, and they prove that you violated your probation by a preponderance of the evidence, you're facing up to life in prison.
Yeah, the judge also ordered Evelyn Fernandez to enter an inpatient program after her prison sentence, have no contact with her ex and his children, and give up her guns. Fernandez, who also had a violent relationship with former police director and mayor Carlos Alvarez, had faced up to life in prison.
Damn.
All right. The victims in Monday's bizarre double homicide in Lakeland have now been identified. This was a crazy case from the start. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says 19-year-old Davin Boutwell of Mulberry was behind the wheel of a Mercedes when he was shot to death, possibly while trying to sell marijuana in the neighborhood.
When this Mercedes, barreling down the road with a man with a bullet hole in his chest, now we know, ran over and pushed our other victim into this home.
But the car kept going. That's when he said Boutwell ran over 38-year-old Nathaniel Jones of Lakeland, who was on his e-bike, pinning him underneath the Mercedes. Police were called because the Mercedes sent an alert. And they start doing life-saving measures on the driver before realizing,
There's
oh my
a dude
God.
underneath the thing.
Well, not only a dude underneath the thing, but as they're trying to resuscitate the driver, they realize he has a gunshot wound to his chest.
Oh, my God.
They had no idea. They just thought it was a crash. So
this is like the worst SNL skit of all time.
No arrests at this point, but Judd believes the shooter was one of a group of young men who were seen on video talking to Boutwell. He says it's likely the shooter will face charges in both deaths.
Yeah, man, that's crazy business.
Isn't that? That's just like, what?
Just when you think the story is over, there's 15 other parts of it.
I know, exactly. All right, also over on the Gulf Coast, residents of a 12-story condo in Clearwater are being allowed to return after structural issues forced an immediate evacuation last week. Construction workers found a crack. That sounds so innocuous. It's a 2-foot crack, you guys.
I could literally throw a baseball through it.
Yes, it was a 2-foot crack in a support column in the parking garage at South Beach 3 condos on Gulf Boulevard in Sand Key. Get this.
We just wrapped that bitch up with some zip ties and called it good.
Get some Flex Seal. There we go. Now, the crack was discovered a day before the city of Clearwater. Get this. The crack was discovered a day before the city of Clearwater received a 10-year structural inspection report from Cairns Engineering. That report deemed the building to be safe. The day before they got that report, they found a 2-foot crack and a structural column.
When you see the photo, it looks like a photo from an earthquake building. Right? That's what it looks like. It looks like a building that was shaken by an earthquake. That's how bad the damage is on the supporting columns.
And they received an engineering report that said, nope, no problems
here. Do you
here.
remember my face when you showed me that picture?
Yeah.
I literally gasped.
Exactly.
I was like, that's holding up a building? How?
I know. And then imagine if you're one of those people on the 12th story finding out there's a 2-foot crack in a support column.
I wouldn't build a tree house on that thing.
Exactly. All right. Parts of Central Florida are reporting record rainfall. Forecasters say Orlando and Sanford picked up more than 3.5 inches of rain on Monday. Daytona Beach got about 2.2 inches of precipitation. That's the most rain in one day since, you're never going to get this,
42.
Jack, when was the most rain in one day since?
1943.
Hurricane Milton on October 9th. Yeah. And
so that means I was closer.
Yeah, there you
All
go.
right,
Points, Jack.
checking.
All that rain means Volusia, Osceola, Seminole, and Brevard counties have lifted their bans on open burning. So good news for fireworks coming up. All right, SpaceX wants to increase rocket launches from Cape Canaveral. The Federal Aviation Administration is reviewing a proposal to increase launches from 50 to 120 annually.
Wow. How does that affect the air quality over there? Has anybody done any impact on the air quality around that area when you're sending off that many rockets? I know we pay attention to certain things over there like that, but I mean, you're sending up a rocket every other day. I wonder what that does.
Now, some groups have raised concerns about noise and impacts on airspace and ocean travel. The comment period remains open until Thursday, but I don't think that if they do track it, they're not tracking it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, YouTube will exclusively stream the NFL's Sao Paulo game this upcoming season. The league announced the deal with YouTube today. The live stream will be available for free to fans around the world on YouTube and YouTube TV. The Week 1 game will see the Los Angeles Chargers take on an opponent that will be revealed tomorrow. This will mark the first time an exclusive NFL game will be live streamed on YouTube. But the Dolphins said, hold my beer, because they're scheduled to play the first ever regular season NFL game in Spain.
Wow, really?
Yeah. The league announced its international schedule today. It features Miami playing the Washington Commanders in Week 11 on November 16th. The game will be played at historic Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, the home of Spain's soccer club, Real Madrid. Miami has been designated the home team for that game.
I have to tell you, the NFL has made quite a footprint over there, man. When you see any of the video from those games, whether it be in Germany, whatever the case may be, or England, they are absolute madhouses. They love it.
I would imagine, I would imagine, too, a lot of expats who are living overseas are like, football.
Oh, yeah.
So either way, that concludes your JCS News.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us. 77031. Say a little break. Back in a second with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Jessica Dobson. For the check of our forecast, and the rest of our day does feature a good mix of sunshine and clouds. We do have about a 10% chance of a stray, isolated downpour. These, if at all, will be brief. Temperatures will be warming up, but not quite as hot as what we would typically see for this time of year. A high of around 85 degrees today in Orlando. Temperatures will continue to climb throughout the rest of this week into the weekend, nearing the mid-90s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Hey, everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. You know, Mother's Day just slid by. You're still probably looking at those photos on Facebook and rolling through your phone occasionally. You look at all the wonderful smiles in your family as everybody gathers to celebrate moms across the area. Man, you want to do that as much as possible. So does Life Imaging FLA. That's what these guys are all about, making sure that your health is good now so you don't have to worry about issues later down the road. That's called being a proactive customer instead of a reactive customer. Proactive means you do exactly this. You get over to Life Imaging FLA, you get this free heart scan. You make sure that you're good inside. And if you're not, you catch it early enough to make sure that your primary care doctor and yourself can build that plan to keep you going for years and years. But that reactive is not good. That's when you wait for that symptom and then things can get ugly fast. Don't do that. And remember, no dyes. You don't take all your clothes off. No injections, nothing like that. It only takes a few minutes. So don't wait. Do what I did, what my wife did, what my in-laws did. And so many other people here in Central Florida, they called Life Imaging FLA and they got that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. Just pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say that keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do to make your appointment. Pound 250, say that keyword free heart scan. They will connect you in seconds. Make that call today and take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Looking to upgrade your yard? Fence Outlet specializes in stunning new fence installations at competitive prices. Don't just fence in your yard, transform it. Quality fences that add style, privacy, and upgrade to every home. Come for a free estimate. License number C10252 and C10803.
Zero Res uses a patented process and products that are safe for kids and pets, and they do an unbelievable service. That's why I've had them come to my house. Give them a call, 407-232-9188, or visit OrlandoZeroRes.com today. And remember, Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards, is the way to clean.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
There's no substitute for the peace of mind you get with the technology leader's SafeTouch Security, whether you're home or away from home. And right now, for a limited time, SafeTouch is offering 50% off select security packages. Every SafeTouch system comes with 24/7 monitoring, a 45-second response time guarantee, and professional installation. And get ultimate control and convenience with the SafeTouch app. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-2049.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature.
It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and you don't know what to do.
Or if you've been the victim of a medical mistake, we've got you.
We've got what it takes to prove a case that the insurance companies can't ignore.
With decades of experience and a track record of winning for our clients.
Farah and Farah. Orlando.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Are you 62 or older and wondering if a reverse mortgage can help you access the equity in your home? It's so easy to get a free reverse mortgage quote with that mortgage guy, Don. Just fill out the online questionnaire at thatmortgageguyDon.com, or you can make an office appointment to meet in person at 1401 Town Plaza Court, Winter Springs, Florida. Happy Home Mortgage, NMLS ID 2418348.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. In office, Orlando.
Get ready as iHeartRadio teams up with the ultimate countdown king.
It's Rick Dees, and here's this week's #1 hit.
iHeartRadio and the Rick Dees Weekly Top 40 with 2 exclusive channels.
Catch this week's biggest hits as we count down to #1.
Listen to this week's biggest songs with Rick Dees and the Weekly Top 40.
Then you can hear all of my legendary countdowns from way back, all commercial free.
It's the soundtrack of your life.
Search me, Rick Dees, on your free iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Life is busy. Luckily, Racetrack's here to keep you on track every day.
Running around and the time makes you nervous. Are you still a mom or just a taxi service?
With ice cold drinks, hot pizza, freshly ground coffee, and even Swirl World frozen yogurt for the kids.
The schedule is packed with things that they have to do, but with so much to choose from, you'll find something for you.
Racetrack is here to keep you going.
Racetrack's gonna get you through.
Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Now back to the Jim Colbert Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Couple things. Jim, you just sent me back in time with the phrase, a can of snuff. I remember as a kid, my mom used to send me to the store every other day to go get a can of Navy snuff. You know, the good old days. A quick question. Why won't SeaWorld let you in with a plastic cup with a straw, or a plastic straw, but they will sell you a SeaWorld cup, a thicker cup with a thicker straw? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me.
So I just did the math, excluding federal holidays. If SpaceX wants to do 120 rocket launches, that's once every 3 days.
That's not too many, right?
On the SeaWorld Cup thing, a thicker cup, like I'll do it. You can do the souvenir cups at the stadium for whatever team. Mm-hmm. That's a reusable thing.
Yeah,
so you're going to get multi-use out of that.
Sure, yeah.
As opposed to a disposable cup.
Like when you go on a cruise, they tell you if you get one of the drink packages, they give you this resealable cup, right? And you get this cup, you can go get sodas, whatever. What they don't tell you though is this: it's like the some of those wine bottles. You'll see the wine bottle, and you're like, man, that's a nice big bottle of wine. You look at the bottom of it, and it's got that wine. It goes all the way up into the bottle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
These cups are the same way. They look from the outside. You're like, oh, man, that's a good 20-ounce cup. And then you open it up, and the inside part of it is like literally 8 ounces.
Ugh. Rip off.
And then you have to bring it back, and it costs you like $30.
Oh, my kids on the cruise ship with refillable soda cups and those Coke machines where you can pick any flavor. Oh, they loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My wife digged that, too. Man, she likes that Diet Coke.
Yeah. Really, huh?
Diet Coke over Coke Zero. Yeah, like you are with Pepsi.
Yeah.
She's with Diet Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she came in with... She came in with 2 bottles today.
Almost 2 bottles of Diet Coke?
Yeah, she had like a 2-liter, and then she's drinking out of one of those 20s.
She had her sidecar?
Yeah. I just look, I'm like...
Yeah. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here.
He is.
They have that at Aldi? I didn't think they sold name brands at Aldi.
No, they don't have that at Aldi. She's got to step out to get the Coke
So
products.
she won't spend for the, she won't do the cheapy, the Coke, like Dr. Check and stuff like that. She won't do the off-brand?
Yeah, Aldi soda is Summit. And, no, she likes Diet Coke. And I think interchangeable with Coke Zero. She differs.
Really?
A lot of people kind of have that opinion. To me, it all tastes the same.
No, really, does it? I can tell those. I can tell those fake sweeteners immediately. I can almost tell it by smell.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it was my wife, but the closest thing was Splenda. My wife does Splenda in her coffee, and occasionally, as I'm stirring her coffee, I'll taste it to make sure that's everything. I got the cream right and everything right, and I taste that. And believe it or not, the Splenda is the one I believe you could probably get away with. I actually drank sweet tea with Splenda for a while, and then all of a sudden one day that flavor, that sharp kind of thing hit me, and I'm like, done.
I'm trying to get off of the coffee creamer stuff.
Yeah, she did.
The flavored coffee creamer. That's my goal. Today I bought fat-free half and half.
Oh, yeah, really? Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just get half and half. Why do you got to get fat-free? You get fat-free half and half and then eat 2 handfuls of chocolate eggs.
Wait, settle down with the handful nonsense.
You grab handfuls. Handfuls of those things.
There's not...
You just told us during the break you ate too many.
I ate too many. I wouldn't say handfuls.
Well, how many's too many then, tough guy?
The point where I don't feel so good anymore.
Yeah, she actually just started using milk for her coffee, like and it's in like 20% or what's it called, 2% skim.
Yeah.
And I'm a half and half guy, man. I love my half and half. But I used to use heavy whipping cream for my coffee.
So fat though. By the way, check this out. You know why I bought the fat-free half and half? Because I used all the regular half and half on Sunday when I made brunch.
Oh, yeah.
Put those in the scrambled eggs.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Next level.
Super silky, super creamy eggs. So delicious. Absolutely, bud.
Little salt and pepper and half and half. And
my grandmother used to put whole milk in her eggs back in the day, and that's when I realized that. Yeah. And then also, if you want to, I'll give you another good cooking tip. You ever made do you make omelets, by the way?
No.
You guys don't make omelets?
I imagine myself making
Okay,
them.
so, but when you make them at home,
story.
you get them in the restaurant and they're big and fluffy omelets. Like, how do they do that? Because all the other omelets I make, it's just like a layer of, like a quesadilla of eggs and then everything in the middle, right? You want to know the secret of how you get your omelets real fluffy?
How?
You ready?
Yeah.
It's so important, right? When you mix your eggs and you put them in your pan, pre-warm up your broiler in your oven. And right as you're about to get done, stick your eggs under the broiler for a few seconds. And believe it or not, the broiler will puff those eggs up. And then when you put it on your plate, your damn omelet will be 3 inches thick.
Wow.
That's a little
Will
secret.
you make us one and show us?
A little secret there. Yeah. But if you just put it under the broiler, it just puffs them up. Well, you got to be careful, though. You can't put it in there long because it'll burn them. But if you put it in there for a few minutes, they just puff right up, and then you fold it over, and you have a big old thick omelet. It's great.
Can we agree on one thing? Yesterday's burnt popcorn smell was horrible. But is there anything worse than burnt eggs?
Burnt, I will tell you, it's so funny. When I was thinking about this yesterday, I was trying to think of things that do stink worse. When you spill eggs on an open burner, like on an electric stove, it is a pretty gnarly.
That is. I think that's
gnarly.
worse than popcorn.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Or when you spill like anything in the oven that cooks over. We cooked a lasagna once, and it kind of bubbled over on the oven right onto the thing.
Coil.
Oh man, that's another. Cheese like that when it burns can be also gnarly. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. All right, 407-916-1041. Got another keyword for you at the top of the hour. We'll do what to do that's new right after this. Stay put.
The Orlando Fringe is happening now, and we want to give Fringe performers a chance to promote their shows using the TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app during the Jim Colbert Show. 30 seconds of radio time to tell the world why they should come see your show. Get details at realradio.fm/fringe.
There's a crash on US 27 at Wellness Way. An accident reported on Weatherby Road just east of Orange Blossom Trail there. A disabled vehicle's getting cleared up off to the shoulder on State Road 429 northbound before Seidel Road. Traffic's starting to slow down on the major roadways. The roadways might be wet out there in your area, so travel with caution. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Look, man, it can be a hard decision sometimes. You got a roofing issue, and you're like, God, who do I choose? Florida's a wash in roofers out there. Some of them not so savory, though. Just stick with Eustace Roofing. You'll be just fine. 4.9 Google rating with over 1,000 reviews. Guys, check this out. They've been doing it since 1959. Look, if you had a sandwich shop since 1959, it would be impressive. Roofing company in Florida for 65 years. That is insane. No interest financing is available. They serve all of Central Florida. You will never see a cleaner work site than Eustace Roofing, and they are metal roofing experts, which means they actually manufacture that roof on site so it fits your house perfectly, and they be able to satisfy your insurance carrier by simply cleaning or rejuvenating your roof, adding years to it. The best thing to do, get them on your property for a free estimate. It's easy. Just go to eustaceroofing.com. Again, that's eustaceroofing.com.
Yeah, we're not even going to pretend. This is a straight-up bribe. We're talking $1,000 in your hand. Use the cash to pay off that credit card you forgot about. Take a trip. Or buy some indica-dominant hybrid known for its body-numbing effects. Because weed is legal in Florida, right? Anyway, bottom line, we want you to listen to Real Radio, and you want money. So here's the deal. 13 keywords a day. Enter them at realradio.fm. Is the important part. Answer your phone if we call. We're shameless. You're broke. Let's do this. This national contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
Greenway Kia proudly thanks all active and retired military members for your service. If you're in the market for a sedan or SUV, we've got the perfect Kia for you. Tariff-free and in stock now. Drive home a new 2025 Kia Sportage for just $299 per month for 36 months with zero due at signing. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, visit greenwaykias.com today.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 0 security deposit plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 6/15/25.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is giving away a brand new Ford every Tuesday this May. Winners will choose between the 2025 Ford Mustang GT or the F-150 Hybrid. Earn entries by playing your favorite slots and table games with your Unity card from April 29th through May 27th. Plus, receive one free entry every day in May. Not a Unity by Hard Rock member? Sign up today and you'll get up to $200 free play on us. Get in on the action. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Quitting tobacco isn't easy. The good news is, Tobacco Free Florida is here to help you quit your way. When you call Tobacco Free Florida's phone quit service, you'll receive one-on-one sessions with a coach who can help you on your quit journey. You may also qualify for free nicotine replacement therapy like patches, gum, or lozenges. Whatever your reason to quit is, Tobacco Free Florida can help you get started. Call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here, and I've got great news. The Filatowski Eye Institute is now offering a free LASIK exam to see if you're a candidate, plus $500 off each eye when you elect a procedure. That's $1,000 off your surgery, but it's for a limited time only. Ditch those glasses because this offer won't last. Simply dial pound 250 and say Better Vision. That way you can schedule your appointment today. That's pound 250 and say Better Vision. The Filatowski Eye Institute, trusted, local, life-changing.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait.
Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
The accident wasn't your fault. The medical bills shouldn't be your responsibility. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. After an accident, you don't want to get stuck with a pile of medical bills. I will fight to get those bills paid. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN, F-U-N. fun. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Good afternoon, Colbert crew. Big Al here. I just drove from Castleberry to Gainesville for a service call, and I'm parked here off of 39th Street, where farmers market, and there are love bugs flying around everywhere. So maybe Deb's right. Maybe it's not a myth. University of Florida made love bugs. Who knows? Anyway, you guys have a great rest of the week. Love y'all, and hope to bring you some boiled peanuts with the veggies in them soon.
Oh my God, dude! Get over here now.
See you guys later. Bye.
Now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't fat-free half and half just half? Isn't the second half of the half and half the fat part?
Well, I don't know, but I know all these signs tells it.
It's supposed to be half whole milk and half cream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Okay.
So it's basically a reduced calorie cream.
Okay.
Equally as delicious. I've actually eaten a bowl of cereal with half and half before in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I ran out of milk.
And Jack, you probably don't have very many cups of coffee a day. What, just your morning cup?
It used to be 2. I've cut it down to 1, sometimes 1.5, sometimes 2.
That's not bad. Still going with some half and half.
So, but it was the vanilla French vanilla creamer, and now I'm trying to. I need to cut fat out. I want to get my cholesterol back to where it should be.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest something.
Oh boy.
Go with a half and half.
Okay.
And then leave the Cadbury eggs alone.
I got a bad news for you.
Who keeps putting them out on the table?
I did not.
I did not.
Who walked in today and opened the cabinet and grabbed the bag?
I didn't get here till 2 o'clock today. Somebody else put those on the counter today.
That was me. It was me, but obviously I'm powerless against this.
Okay, our bad, Jack. My bad. All right, your 4 o'clock keyword is fun. F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for a chance at $1,000. Had a winner last night at 6. Let's keep this party going.
Yeah.
Fun is your 4 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We hope you win for sure. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Yeah.
Let's do what you do that's new.
What you do that's new. What you do that's new.
Hey!
If we only knew something new to do, we're relying on you. Tell us something new brought to you by Clausman Law.
That's right, Clausman Law, KLAUSMAN Law.com. Office is right there in Winter Park, 407-917-1718. Car crash, call Clausman. We'll gladly talk to Glenn on Thursday for Colbert Court. Until then, every single Tuesday at 4 o'clock for the last 6 years, we've done What You Do That's New. This bit is somebody from the show picks something for the other members to watch, read, or listen to. We do that, then reconvene on the following Tuesday to go over what we saw and then move on to the next person. It's Deb's choice. We'll find out what Jack has to offer here in 1 sec.
So my choice was an incredibly long video. Thank you guys for hanging in there.
Yeah, really.
3 minutes and 53 seconds.
It was the weirdest 4 minutes I've had this year.
Narrated by a young man who had been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. And so the video is about, and it's titled, It's Time to Stop Saying Asperger's. And he gives some of the history behind it, as well as I thought while the video wasn't long, the conversation that it could spark could be.
Yeah, did you guys find it had a different impact because of his accent? Did you think that it had a different kind of impact because he's Irish, right?
I thought he was English.
Irish, English, something like that. I thought it was.
He sounded smarter.
Yeah, he sounded.
I thought it was Chinese.
Oh, stop! I thought it was Irish for some reason. It did have a bit of an impact on me for hearing him say it and using that dialect rather than just good, just English or American.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Very interesting case. Did not know this.
I did not. So for those who do not know, Hans Asperger, for whom the syndrome is named after, was a pediatrician in Austria,
yes.
Back in the 1930s, and the majority of his research focused on the disabilities and more specifically autism.
What else was going on back then in the 30s?
So it turns out that Hans Asperger was tapped by the Nazi regime to help call the masses, as it were. So Dr. Hans Asperger, I won't even call him doctor, decided which autistic children would live and which would be sent to the gas chambers.
And basically decided that decided that certain levels of autism, they could experience life.
Not even experience life. This one is good at math.
Right,
we can make money off of them.
Yeah, exactly. They had use, is what I should say. Yeah, they had use.
Yeah.
And if you didn't deem to be useful, you got sent somewhere where you never came back.
And and that hits hard because I know that my nephews would have been on that list.
They would have been on that list.
They would have been on that list.
Yep.
And so I agree with this young man, and I think it's an important conversation because he said, again, just like we hear with so many other groups, these are names that have been given to us. You have named us this. This
Right.
isn't what we want to be called.
Right.
This is what you call us. So why don't you invite us to the conversation and actually ask us how we want to be referred to? Because he goes on to explain how even high functioning has faced its own share of backlash because of what it implies.
But okay, so to people who aren't familiar with autism and its spectrums, or its spectrum, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, how are we supposed to know what is correct? Because it does change. It is kind of fluid at times. And we've had many terms that have kind of fallen out of favor that were used in the highest of science.
Oh, yeah. They used to be called idiot savants.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I think neurodivergent is one, and
but how do you-
basically just on the spectrum.
Okay, so how would I explain if I was dealing with a group of people and one was severely autistic and needed continuous help and someone else was highly functioning and didn't need as much help? How would I describe that without using terms of levels of spectrum?
Well, I don't know if being on the spectrum, I think what it was, what he alluded to was this idea of us as not being on the neurodivergent, deciding their usefulness.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I guess, because we've received a lot of text messages from people who are on the spectrum. So I invite them to join the conversation.
Right.
And tell us, educate us who are not on the spectrum what it is that you would prefer, kind of like what this young man said, because I wouldn't want to be labeled with Asperger's syndrome knowing that guy was a Nazi.
Right.
What did you call him, Jack? He was a not bloodthirsty or just sociopathic. Used his knowledge and his medical to basically deem children worthy of death or not.
Yeah, one of Hitler's pawns.
There you go.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I wouldn't think that you couldn't get away with that easily, or that it wouldn't be that difficult to get away from that. We've gotten away from terms before.
We don't use the R word anymore.
You don't use you're not using the R word anymore unless you're Joe Rogan or on the Rogan show, where apparently they're bringing it back, Elon Musk. If you.
And that's a rich one, Elon using the R word.
Yeah, because,
You want to talk about neurodivergent.
Yeah, for sure. But, it is kind of interesting, though, because,
Well, what did you guys think of the video?
Oh, I thought it was very interesting. I did not know that about Hans Asperger. I did not know that at all.
I didn't either. I recently learned it on an Instagram reel and then started doing some research and went, whoa, this guy is not good.
And I know we've run into this kind of before. I know not at this level. Of course, not sending people to concentration camps for their death because they can't act or provide any service. But, the James Webb Telescope kind of went through this a little bit because James Webb wasn't such a savory guy. And I know there was a big push to have NASA change the entire name of that because of his past.
And didn't you also learn something really interesting about the filming of The Wizard of Oz?
Oh, yeah, around the same time. So and I learned this yesterday. It was just online somewhere. It was interesting. And this really is kind of not topical, but...
is it Wizard of Oz or was it Willy Wonka?
It was Willy Wonka.
There we go.
Well, they shot Willy Wonka in Germany. They said Germany. I don't know if they meant Austria, but they said Germany. And they had to import dwarves to play the Oompa Loompas because during Hitler's regime, dwarves were considered useless and not pure, so they were all executed.
So basically,
they had to go outside of the country to find small people to play those roles because they'd been eliminated in that country.
So again,
and this was a movie that was shot about 25 years after World War II.
Right, yeah,
exactly.
71, 69, 70, something like that.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting in being able to hear from someone who is on the spectrum their side of the story.
Right, yeah.
Because in the case of my nephews, they can't tell me their side of the story, but this young man can.
But how would you? It does open up a really interesting conversation. I do want to get what Jack has to offer there, but So, and he did ask that question, why don't you ask us how we would like to be referred? But, would they all be in agreement for that? I mean, you don't know that.
Maybe not, but we're not in agreement either. I don't think it's about coming to agreement. I think it's about starting the conversation and welcoming the people who are being labeled into the conversation to decide what they want their label to be.
How would they tell you that they couldn't do something then?
How do you tell someone you can't do something?
I just tell them I don't know how to do that.
I'd
that
imagine it's probably the same thing.
type thing. Yeah. Just I don't know how to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, they're going to be more bluntly honest about it than you're going to be. They're not
Yeah.
going to sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, that's understood. Yeah, and of course, we are. My family has contact with a gentleman who is, high on the scale, for lack of a better term, and is completely self-sufficient. And he has that kind of. Don't really. He
Doesn't sugarcoat things.
He doesn't sugarcoat, and you can't get real close to him. It doesn't. It does have that thing kind of. Not necessarily stay away from me, but isn't as.
Because it feels different to
right,
them.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's not the same.
Physically, it's not the same. You feel the warm and fuzzies when someone embraces you. To them, it feels like nails on a chalkboard.
And he works every day at his mom's company. Every day. Goes into works every single day. Yeah. Jack, what do you have for us, buddy? Good job, by the way.
Oh,
very
thank you.
interesting.
So, Deb is going to be so pissed. I'm sorry, Deb. I just have to apologize.
What, is this 6 minutes long?
No, this one is 45 minutes long.
45 minutes. Okay, this is an episode of something.
No.
It's a podcast.
It is on YouTube. It's a video. I had an episode of a show I was going to give you guys. I'm like, no, why do something they're going to enjoy? Let me give them something better.
Oh, God. It's something about the Yankees, please. God, make it better.
Not.
No, it's going to be about Bruce Springsteen and...
It is not. But what says? Let's find another love of mine. And that
Barack Obama.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No, close. The controversial rise of Rockstar Games.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
YouTube video.
Yeah. So that's
Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption, but it's about how they, two brothers, or how they got their start, and they kind of, how it just evolved to what is the most popular video game, at least at certain times, and the most successful video games in video gaming history.
I'm interested.
I'm sorry, Deb.
Oh, I'm not. No, that'll be fascinating.
Yeah. Well, check that out. You want to put it up on the site for us so we can click through it?
Absolutely.
Very nice. All right, that's what you do that's new. We'll check out Jack's selection next week, and then, of course, we'll move on to a listener. We'll put that up on gym members, and you'll be able to get it that morning, and then you can also put some stuff up for us to check out for gym members. We'll do that soon. Remember, your 4 o'clock keyword is fun, F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. People are doing stuff at grocery stores that now they can, and it's kind of interesting. I don't think I would ever do this, but I'll tell you what it is next.
What you do that's new, brought to you by Glenn Klausman, KLAUSMANLAW.com. Proudly sponsored since day one by Glenn Klausman, KlausmanLaw.com.
Bye.
From the Klausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Klausman Law, KlausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash reported on US 27 at Wellness Way, an accident on Weatherby Road just east of Orange Blossom Trail. Keep an eye out for a disabled vehicle getting cleared up on State Road 429 northbound before Seidel Road. And there's an accident on the ramp from Princeton Street to I-4 eastbound, slowing down traffic there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu, featuring new mixing bowl mashup, fan-voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time, right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. At participating locations.
Summer barbecue season is here, so up your hosting game by replacing your old windows and doors with the latest designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, peace of mind. With Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim Impact Windows and Doors, you're investing in a product that not only enhances your home's beauty, but also significantly boosts its safety and value. Sarah says if you are ever in need of windows or doors, please give them a call today. They will most surely give the treatment of excellence 100%. Renewal by Andersen's Window of Opportunity savings event is going on now. Buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third 60% off, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You will have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
Sunnyside Plumbing. Ring.
Hey there, my sink is leaking water. I need help right now.
We're having a company-wide staring contest. Do you want to play?
But what about my sink?
Okay, me versus you.
No.
Ready, go.
No, I'm not playing. And you know what? I should have called Frank Gay.
Oh, I almost blinked.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When it comes to plumbing problems, you want a helpful operator to guide you and an honest and reliable plumber to provide customized solutions for your home.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Man, oh man, oh man. Listen, man, if you're in the real estate world right now, you want a team that can really super serve your needs. That, my friends, is my friends over at the Nickley Group. These guys are awesome. And the real estate market trends are a very local thing. You know that. In other words, the real estate market here in Central Florida is definitely different than Flagstaff, Arizona, because your home here in Central Florida still surging in price. Just 2 weekends ago, read 2 stories about Central Florida home prices still at their highest level. That's why you need a great team to maximize that asset that you have. That is your home, and get the most for it. They can do that for you. 6% more on average than their competitors, and they do that twice as fast. Twice as much. I mean, that much more money, twice as fast is always good. And if you're a buyer, nobody knows the market better than the Nickley Group. These guys can find you the house of your dreams. They have so many ready to go. That's why they're so awesome at what they do. 4,500 plus homes sold with over 4,000 5-star reviews on Google. And if you ask anybody in the real estate business in Central Florida, they know the Nickley Group as stone cold closers. But if you don't want to deal with any of this stuff, they have an option for you as well. If you go to their website, you can actually get a guaranteed cash offer for your home. No showings, no open houses, and that deal can close in just 14 days. Don't sleep on these guys. They're awesome. It's the NickleyGroup.com. That's NICKLEY Group.com.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Fence Outlet customer Jean said,
Fence Outlet made the process easy. The team was very detailed. My fence was done right by getting all the needed permitting and finding my property pins. I've had so many compliments on my new fence.
Go to fenceoutlet.com to book your free estimate. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
She's back. Khloe Kardashian returns to On Purpose with Jay Shetty, and she's getting real about healing and self-love. Plus, Caroline Levitt shares what it's like being the youngest White House press secretary in history on Post Run High. And Rob Lowe spills some of the funniest stories you'll hear with Chelsea Handler on the Dear Chelsea podcast.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese. Radio.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Talking about bad smells. Back when I was a kid, my mother wanted some roasted garlic on a Thanksgiving. So her and her friend thought they would be smart, and they put a whole clove in a microwave. Now this microwave was made like in 1986. So they were cooking, really nuclear back then. And it melted this garlic to a paste, and the smell filled the entire house. And we literally had to move.
Hey, Colbert crew, I'll tell you what stinks bad is my daughter dropped her baby bottle, and it went under the seat of my car.
Oh!
And forgot it was under there, and in the hot sun. Dang. Woo.
I did that one time. That couldn't be more true. If you have a minivan, if you've ever owned a minivan, you'll know this. There is nothing more that has more nooks and crannies than a minivan. And we lost a bottle in the minivan, and even worse than what this guy had happen, when we slid the chair back to take it out because the mechanism does that. You have to slide it back to the back, and then it hits this little catch, and then you hit this release. It got pinched, and it crushed the bottle after being there for months. Bro, listen. That was not good.
No.
That was as bad as me finding a year-old Easter egg.
Oh, that's a nasty one.
And I reached to pick it up, and the shell just crushed.
Oh.
And immediately, it was like somebody bear maced me with doo-doo. And it just stunk. It stunk from 30 feet away. Oh, my God, it was terrible. Those are the worst. That is the worst.
You know what's bad in your car? Ground beef.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So it fell out of the shopping bag. It fell out of the shopping bag, and it was upside down in the back seat in the floorboard. And so my wife didn't see it. So it was there before it started to smell. It might have been a couple days, but by that point, it all leached out into the carpeting.
God.
That smell. It's so
bad.
Yeah. I mean, you clean it, you're just getting rid of it. It's just, it's almost next to impossible.
When it goes bad in your fridge, it stinks cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing smells on ice, right?
Yeah.
It stinks cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So your 4 o'clock keyword is fun, F-U-N. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. We hope you win. We had a winner last night at 6. Go get that cash. Got to catch up with the monsters. They have been crushing it.
Yeah, they have.
So we want to make sure that happens. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. We have breaking news.
Yeah, we do.
Like, this is a big, big deal. Now, although it is a sports story, it won't matter because most people will be able to relate to this either way.
Now, I just have the headline.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have more of the details, but this broke about 8 minutes ago. Major League Baseball has reinstated Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson, making them Hall of Fame eligible.
Which is crazy, right? Because does that make it, okay, so here's the thing. I'm one of the few people who kind of thought that Pete Rose kind of got shafted.
Always. Are you kidding?
He really was kind of not a patsy per se, but I felt like they used Pete Rose because he had a lot of people don't realize Pete Rose had kind of an unsavory reputation before this whole thing. You know, Pete's always been kind of one of those grifter kind of guys. And you hear stories about what he would do when he knew he was going to break a record. He would change the uniform 6 or 7 or 8 times or during different innings or use different bats so he knew he could sell that down the road.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. When he was going to break all these records, hitting records, he would have like 9 uniforms. This is the story I heard. And he would change every inning so that he could say that was a game-used uniform while he was breaking records and sell them all for the same amount of money.
Okay,
That's just kind of how he thought.
Right.
But the thing with Pete,
now they all do it.
Right. You know, the thing with Pete is he never bet on the Reds. He only bet for them to win. So I would think if you're betting for your
still as bad.
It is bad. There's no question. Not even a quarter as bad as betting on your team to lose, which you would have power over.
You would say as manager and a player manager, he would have insight into his team where he would bet on them to win Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He doesn't bet on his team. What does that tell the bookies?
Oh, that's a good point. Well,
when he doesn't bet on his team, it says something.
Well, Jack, you're right. It could. There's no question. But it also could say that he doesn't think that his team can hit a certain pitcher, or if he doesn't think his team can hit it, or play well in a certain park. I mean, it could mean that as well.
Yeah.
What this kind of means for me is kind of weird here. So, what about the steroid dudes? So now are Clemens and Bonds and Mark McGwire and all these dudes who really got banned from the Hall of Fame, and although they definitely have the stats to get there, but they use steroids. That's a completely different argument, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, I do as well, because you betting on your team is not performance enhancing.
Right. It's just a violation of the rules.
Yeah.
What's Shoeless Joe? What's his?
He was part of the
Black Sox scandal, 1918 Black Sox scandal, where they were he was paid to throw the game.
Yeah, he was paid to throw the White Sox World Series in the early 30s, I believe. The mob got him, or the mob got the whole team. And there's a movie called 8 Men Out that was made about it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he came back. There was a documentary about a baseball that they built in a cornfield in Iowa. And
I saw that documentary.
He resurfaced there, too. Talked to Kevin Costner for a bit.
Yeah. You agree with that? with him getting back. Put this up as a question of the day.
Because again,
about dead ball players walking through corn into a baseball
exactly.
field.
And they mentioned Kevin Costner, please.
I've always felt that Pete Rose got shafted.
Yeah.
During the steroid era, when McGuire, Bonds, and they're breaking records, those records still stand, right?
Right.
The Astros beating on the garbage cans, those records still stay, right?
Oh, that makes me sick.
It makes me sick, and it makes me mad that you would keep a guy like Pete Rose out when all of these other records are allowed to stand. It's hypocrisy.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so we know that Barry Bonds one still stands because it was a question at trivia 2 weeks ago, and I looked at Jack. Jack said
70 home runs.
70 home runs, and I said,
him and his fat steroid-filled head.
And I'm like, is that for real? Because I thought when they asterisked that stuff, like they did with Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire and all those other dudes, did Sosa?
Yeah,
Sosa. And when if they
steroids wasn't enough for Sosa, he also corked his back.
Yeah, well, and changed his entire skin color.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
even if they've asterisked those records, the records still stay.
Yeah.
And it's so completely unfair that with everything that has happened in Major League Baseball since Pete Rose was banned, it's just like, okay, what's your new excuse, MLB?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't hold water anymore.
He died at 83 last September.
Of course they had to wait.
In April, Commissioner Rob Manfred said he had met with President Donald Trump to discuss topics on how immigration policies could affect international players, and Rose came up as well. He says one of the topics was Pete Rose. I'm not going to go beyond that because I guess President Trump has mentioned Pete Rose before. And it said something like Trump said on Truth Social in March, he planned on signing a complete pardon of Pete Rose, who shouldn't have been gambling on baseball, but only bet on his team winning. He said he never bet against himself or the other team. He had the most hits by far in baseball history and won more games than anyone in sports history. I don't know how true that is or whatever. He bet on baseball in 87 and 88. That was his mistake, not coming clean any earlier. And then he denied betting on baseball for over a decade. And then the Rose family admitted it in an interview in 2007 that he did, in fact, bet on baseball. He goes, he thought his actions were benign, calling the integrity of the game into question. There's no excuse for that, but there's also no reason to punish me forever. That's what Rose says. I would kind of agree with it. I would think that you'd probably have a hard time finding hardcore baseball fans that would want to keep him out of the hall. Because he is one of the premier players in the history of the game.
But he was also a dick, right?
He was a dick,
Yeah,
yes.
he wasn't contrite about it. He fought it.
Lied.
And baseball, yeah.
He
And
just
so
say
baseball's
lie.
like, all right, well, you're doing it to yourself, basically.
Yeah. Well, do you think they would have made a different decision had he come clean?
Probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they would have let him in?
Well, he would have shown some contrition. He would have shown that he was sorry, that how it affected the game, that he disrespected the game. But, to continue acting like a dick kind of challenges them. I mean, if he's not going to own up to it.
He knew the value of it. He was aware of his legacy for sure. When you're the hits leader, you beat Ty Cobb. You're the number one guy. Charlie Hustle. His on-base percentage is ridiculous. All of the stats are there. Ain't nobody worked harder or loved the game more than Pete Rose. And nobody was more aware of his legacy than Pete Rose. He would tell you, just ask him. But in that same sense, he should have, that's probably what kept him from doing it, because he'd kind of drawn this picture of himself as a kind of a deity in baseball, which he was, and so was that team.
He was. And now his legacy is being known as the guy who got banned from Hall of Fame for betting on the game. So all of that he worked, all of those stats that he got, and it comes down to him being known as the baseball player who got banned for gambling on his team.
Yeah.
Or not for gambling on his team, but just for gambling. So
gambling now is so socially acceptable. Even kids are doing it. Sports gambling.
Yeah. Story today.
But it's still not allowed for players in the league. They are not allowed. And matter of fact, there have been suspensions in the NFL for players who have gambled and got caught. If you're in the league, you can't gamble.
Yeah, there's no question. You cannot gamble. That's how it is now, though, right? It's exactly the same way. Do you agree with the exception?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you think he should be in?
Oh,
you're a purist.
To a degree.
No, I think you're the of all the baseball lovers that I know, other than Deb's fiance.
Yeah.
I would say that you're probably the most purist baseball player or fan I know.
I do. Because of what his accomplishments on the field, I think that deserves to be recognized in the Hall of Fame. yes for him, no for the steroid crowd.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Because again, the steroid, the gambling didn't make him play, because he was done playing at that point. Or did he ever do this when he was a player manager? Because this was in the mid '80s.
Well, yeah, the player manager, that was the end of his career.
Right. Yeah.
So that's when this was.
So he was still playing the game when this was happening, or was he just managing?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think because the last couple of seasons he was player manager, but then I remember him kind of giving it up and then just being the manager. And then that's when this happened.
So now it's up to sports writers, the ones who get a vote. People like Mike Bianchi and his ilk will get an opportunity to vote whether he should be in. And I think it will be an easy yes for both Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe. The thing is with Barry Bonds,
God, Shoeless Joe's worse. He threw a World Series. That dude threw a World Series for money. That's way worse than what Pete Rose did.
Yeah, but he could have been killed.
Yeah, but I guess.
Hey,
but
if it's the mob, there isn't like, oh, sorry, dude, you didn't.
It's the 30s mob and you're black.
Right, exactly.
They took his shoes.
Yeah. Was he black? I can't remember.
No, not when he came through that cornfield.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was black. Yeah.
Just played for the Black Sox at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
What did he do? He threw a World Series. But you're right. He had the onus of the mob. But nobody. They had he.
I'm looking it up. All right.
Yeah, I know. The thing is I'm trying to figure. When I overthink things, you shut down.
Yeah, because you talked about that yesterday.
Your whole brain just shuts down completely when you try to figure something exactly out.
So
do you think it's going to be a unanimous?
No, and here's the deal: because there is at least one jerk off sports writer out there, and I know this because Derek Jeter had all but one vote to be in the Hall of Fame.
Same thing happened to Shaq.
Yeah, I know. There's one out there that I'm going to be. Yeah, I'm going to be the guy.
Yeah, Shaq's a great hate for that dude. By the way,
Yeah.
just mentioned him in an article the other day.
Really?
Called him like a douchebag or something like that. The one guy who voted against him for him to be the unanimous league MVP.
Okay. So after the White Sox lost in the 1919 World Series to the Cincinnati Reds, Jackson and 7 other White Sox players were accused of accepting $5,000 each.
Holy.
That is equivalent to how much money in 2024?
See, $5,000's got to be in this $70,000 range.
Jack?
100.
$91,000.
Oh, yeah, very good.
I'll take it.
You win.
To throw the series.
Yeah.
In September 1920, a grand jury was convened to investigate the allegations. Jackson's 12-base hit set a series record that was not broken until 1964. So, I mean, it took until 1920 before he was alleged or admitted, rather, to participating in a fix during the grand jury testimony.
Crazy. That's so funny. This has hit a nerve because the guy I just played high school baseball with just texted me on my phone.
You're kidding.
What did he say?
I don't know. He actually called me. It said missed call.
Oh, wow. That means something.
Yeah, I have to check and see what his message is like. He was a Rose-esque kind of hitter.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
But people texting, Shoeless Joe had some decent stats during that World Series.
Yeah.
He just took the mob's money. They're saying that if you look at Shoeless Joe's stats in World Series, he didn't throw anything. He just took the mob's money. So again, all of this stuff, pre-steroid era, was egregious. It was a big deal for Pete Rose to be caught gambling. And you didn't hear that kind of stuff back in the day. I guess we're just more jaded now. But to have guys who have asterisks next to their records, but their records still stand, let Shoeless Joe and Pete Rose in.
Is it, has any other sport had that kind of drama like that? I know
NFL.
that, Brady had the Deflate Gate, but is that really considered cheating at the level that, you're not gambling on your team, you're not gambling on the league or against anybody else? Have we had anything like this before? Maybe in horse racing or boxing? There has to have been some sideways stuff in boxing.
And horse racing. Yeah, horse racing, racing as well.
Those are rife with that kind of thing, right?
Well, if the mob has been involved in any sport, it would be boxing. Outside of baseball, boxing, I think, is the second oldest.
Yeah. Haven't you seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
The documentary about boxing.
Sure, yeah. They never busted anybody taking a dive, though, right? Like in a major champion. Was there ever a story of that? That there were a major heavyweight took a dive for the cash and they could prove it? I know there are
only Pulp Fiction.
I know there were a couple middleweights where there was a question what was the the punch from God or something like that during an Ali fight. But because the angle of the camera, he threw an uppercut that was so fast it crumpled his opponent, and everybody thought that he took a dive so Ali could win. But if you look at, if you see the shadows or something, they show you where Ali just jacks him right under his jaw and just collapses the guy. But that, for a while, that was one of those things where they thought that maybe Ali took some cash, which he did not need. And, Ali had this, I don't think Ali had that in him. He wasn't that guy. I think he'd want to beat you square up.
NBA had refs.
That's
Remember
right.
Tim Donaghy, and he says others involved in, making games go certain ways. But
And he
I still
admitted
think
that.
the Houston Astros cheating
That's the worst
scandal,
one.
That's the worst
That's
one.
the worst one.
Do you really think that's the worst one?
They robbed Aaron Judge of an MVP. They robbed the Yankees of a chance to go. That was a Game 7.
That was, wasn't
that
it?
they cheated. Altuve, don't rip my shirt off. He was wired.
Exactly.
So they go on, they win a World Series, and they got to keep it because they offered him immunity to fess up, and so they didn't strip him of those accolades, and they got the truth that they were cheating.
I think it is just because it was team wide. It was coaches known. It was encouraged.
Right.
It could be heard.
You could say it was like
it was during the World Series.
Franchise
Yes,
endorsed, maybe.
Yes.
And John Smoltz, who I love, he was a fantastic pitcher. Watching him in the '90s,
he was great.
Love when he does color commentary on baseball, but I still to this day am annoyed because he tried to blow it off as all teams do it kind of deal.
Right.
One of those.
Yeah, that's not necessarily the truth at all. I mean, we know that teams have clever ways to steal signs and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, that was so ridiculous. I mean,
So out there and egregious.
And I think even teams have called out their own players for doing stuff like that in the past. I remember there was a sign stealing thing back in the day, and I believe it was broken up internally. Like one of the coaches said, "We don't do that. You're not stealing signs. We don't do that. We beat these people fair and square. We lose fair and square." Yeah, cheating's the worst. It usurps anything of credibility or legitimacy you ever kind of tried to do that. If you cheat one time,
But see, here's the deal, and the challenge is because it used, as a Yankee fan, it was the Red Sox were my most hated team. Now, by far, it's easy. It's the Houston Astros. However, the mastermind behind the whole cheating scandal is Alex Cora, who is now the head manager, is the manager for the Boston Red Sox.
Exactly. It was wild. Yeah, my buddy Tom, who I played baseball with, if you'll remember, Tom is the guy who called in with his son and did the whole thing when he was a cop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of our first shows, right? He says, come on, buddy. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Bonds, Clemens, Rodriguez, McGuire, they all cheated to get their stats. Rose never cheated. He hustled his way to 4,256 hits. I would agree with that.
Buddy.
I would agree with
Come
that
on,
sentiment.
buddy.
Come on, buddy.
Again,
I think that's what we all
Instant
said.
hole.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. MLB has egg on its face if it continues to keep those two players out of the Hall of Fame, but keeps those schmoes from, the steroid era and the Astros. Yeah. All of them suck.
I love how mad you are about the Astros cheating. That makes me so hot.
I hate them.
Oh, well, because it's so...
It's gross.
Egregious. It's gross.
Gross.
You've made it to the MLB.
Right.
You should be above and beyond banging on a damn garbage can.
And what a sight to set for like little leaguers and stuff as they're coming up. How terrible is that? God almighty. That is
now
the
you got
worst.
me acting like Jimmy.
Does it feel good?
Well deserved.
All right. 407-916-1041. Again, your 4 o'clock keyword is fun. FUN. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. We'll get back to that supermarket story. I'll tell you in a sec.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And the rest of our Tuesday does feature sunshine and clouds, a low chance of a stray shower or two, only a 10% chance at that. These will be very isolated, if any can get going at all. Temperatures overall will be a couple of degrees below normal, a high of only 85 today in Orlando. Otherwise, we heat things up for the rest of this week with highs in the low to mid 90s, even into early next week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson. Johnson.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Man, how many times have you stood in the doorway of a bathroom in your house, whether it be your master bath or your guest bath, and you're just like, God almighty, it's just ruining my entire home. You spend all that time getting everything perfect in your home. The outside looks great. The paint looks great. All your furniture matches. It's all great. But you look at that bathroom, you're like, man, every time I mention doing this to my friends and family, they tell me, oh, it's going to take forever, 4 or 5 months. It's going to cost thousands over budget, blah, 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 right? Well, maybe that's the case when you deal with certain contractors, but it's not the case when you deal with Rebath Mid-Florida. These guys are awesome. They're about getting your bathroom in there in just 4 to 6 days. And they even have a design team to help you pick out from their massive catalog of supplies and stuff for your bathroom. There's no way you can't come up with a great idea. 436 in Altamont, right across from Kobe. That's where you'll find their showroom. It's got a few models set up in there so you can see what they can do with their products. And that's all that is. Just different configurations of bathrooms using their products to get a beautiful bathroom. They can help you do the same thing as well. Remember, if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, 10% off of your entire bathroom project. That is bananas. That could be thousands of dollars. So take advantage of that as well. It's Rebath Mid-Florida. Hop online, check out the before and afters, then book your appointment. You're waiting for you in Altamont Springs right there at rebath.com.
The future is bright. RC Hill here. It's graduation season, but you can leave the cap and gown at home because this month I'm helping people graduate from their old ride. That's right, I'll help you save up to $10,000 on a new Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. So if you're ready for a fresh start, then graduate from your old ride, and I'll pay you way over appraised value regardless of miles or condition. You can even drive the redesigned 2025 Outlander top safety picked and Yamaha sound system, or the new Mirage, 43 miles per gallon lifetime warranty starting at only $15,900. Plus, here at RCO Mitsubishi, we're all about affordability. We'll work hard to help you find a car you love for only $1 down. So ditch your old ride like the last day of class and save up to $10,000. Plus, I've got over 200 certified used cars, SUVs, trucks, and sports cars, and rates as low as 0%. But hurry, pre-tariff prices won't last long. I'm RC Hill, DeLand, and Ocala. See all my rides at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit and $1 down requires bank approval. Trade value up to 120% KBB. Ends May 31st, 2025.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
At Racetrack, you'll find everything you need to get through the day ahead.
The morning hits hard when you get up early. You're obviously tired and looking surly.
Grab some made-in-store breakfast, freshly ground coffee, ice-cold drinks, delicious hot food, and snacks all in one stop.
The day is long and can feel like a grind, but you'll get fully stocked and everything will be fine.
Racetrack is here to keep you going.
An all-day haul to get you through.
Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today, 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Warmer temperatures are already here. Don't get caught sweating. For a limited time, AirProsUSA.com is offering an AC tune-up for just $79 and avoid breakdowns. That's right, only $79. Count on the pros at AirPros USA to ensure your system runs at peak performance. Book your $79 AC tune-up today. Visit AirProsUSA.com. That's AirProsUSA.com.
Limited time offer. Can't be combined with other offers. License number CAC 1822083, CFC 053314, EC 1301093.
Future health weight loss.
Ozempic, but in a pill? It's called oral semaglutide and is now available from Future Health. Ozempic, but without the painful injections. Go to futurehealth.com to get easy and affordable access to oral semaglutide, Ozempic, and Zepbound for only $3 a day. No insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit futurehealth.com, future without the E, to start losing weight this week.
Future health weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Man, I just think it's hypocritical, and I think it's ridiculous that they did that after the man died. You can dislike the man, you can hate the man, but if you're going to give him a shot at getting in the Hall of Fame, you should have done it while the man was alive. That's all I'm saying.
Pete Rose was always going to get in the Hall. He just wasn't going to get it while he was alive. They will never give him that satisfaction.
Man.
So Pete Rose is obviously dead. So now they're going to give it consideration. Secondary follow-up, there was a great Skechers commercial that had Pete Rose as an endorsement. He's like, I'm wearing my Skechers in the hall, and he's in a house.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's in the hallway.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was good.
Imagine a 50-year grudge.
Yeah, I just went over
MLB
there.
having
Oh,
a
yeah.
50-plus year grudge.
That's when I stuck my face into BK's studio. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? But he was doing an interview when the news dropped. So he's just now dropping it on his show as we're speaking.
Oh, wow. You mean we're ahead of BK?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also our question of the day in our YouTube chat. As for yesterday's question of the day.
Yesterday's JCS question of the day. 66% of the people said that they believe that Northerners curse more than Southerners, leaving 34% saying, oh, hell no. Samuel L. Jackson was raised in Chattanooga, effing Tennessee. Damn.
Well said, buddy. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon we're starting to slide into the heat, Deb.
Oh, my gosh. I saw the forecast this morning. It stopped me dead in my tracks.
Yeah.
Saturday, 95.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean Saturday? It starts like Wednesday, and it is 95 solid with no rain for the next 10 days.
Oh, it's going to
Welcome
be.
to the Orlando Fringe.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's going to be brutal.
Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah, but no rain is good.
Yeah, you're right, and he's right. Orlando Fringe starts tonight.
Tonight, really.
Tonight. That's right. Tonight, May 13th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Ross's first show is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, if Fringe artists out there want to leave a talk back promoting their show, you can do that during the Jim Colbert Show.
Yep.
If you're unsure how to do that, that is simple. We put all the instructions on our website at realradio.fm/fringe. On the outdoor stage, you can join Sabrina and Angel there. A week from Friday, they'll be out there. And as Jim mentioned, Ross's show OrlandoFringe.org to get the schedule for all the shows, and we're excited to be the official radio partner once again
Absolutely.
of the Orlando Fringe.
Went there last night to check out some of the shows and see some of the names, which are brilliantly funny, by the way. That's one of the funniest thing about the Fringe shows are the names of the Fringe shows. I was checking out Ross to see what their little thumbnail looked like. It's called 10 More Sketches with Ross and Joel. And I know about 4 of them, and they are pretty funny concepts. I don't know how they kind of wound up, but they are good. Also, I want to encourage people to go see our friend Lady James with Corsets and Cutie.
Absolutely. Plus, this is their last Fringe performance.
This is their last Fringe performance. And I will tell you, you won't meet a better group of people that are true artists and love the artistry and the pomp of doing the Fringe Festival. You're always going to get your money's worth. They're always going to put on a great show. We'll probably have James in here either later this week or early next week to talk about the remaining shows that they have left. But they're doing such a good job, and they're so wonderful, and it's very, very entertaining and fun.
Well, I know from the social media post that you guys had put up from the Boozy Brunch, the red-haired burlesque performer, she's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah,
she must have done a fantastic job.
That's
BB
BB
Caliber, yeah. She's the official Monster Burlesque champion, reigning champion.
Wow.
Yeah, from the Monsters Burlesque show last year.
It's one thing when you can be all red from head to toe.
And what you don't know about that is because you didn't see it, but she started off the show as a Marilyn Monroe impersonator.
Oh, wow.
So blonde wig, the whole 9 yards, the squeaky little voice. She sang a song, and it was actually the perfect way to start off Boozy, because then she went back changing the BB Caliber, the whole redheaded vixen kind of thing, while some of the other dancers did their thing. We did games, and then she ended up the show with her her burlesque, and it was a wonderful way to end it. She was wonderful.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if you go back on the Real Radio Instagram at Real Radio 1041 and you find our Boozy Brunch post at the very end, you can see her as Marilyn.
Yeah,
Doesn't that make you guys want to perform some burlesque?
No.
I'd do it.
There you go.
I think we should do it as
Monsters.
I think we should do it as a show.
I'd do it in a second.
Jack?
Yeah, sure. Deb, if Deb's in, yeah.
Jack, you don't have that gear?
I just said yes. Does he not listen?
I listen, but I'm
Does he
looking
not
at you, and
listen?
you're
not even looking at me. You're
I'm looking
staring
at your
Deb.
I'm looking at your photograph because I don't want to look at you dead in the eye when we're talking about stuff like this, because you know gay. It's gay.
Because you know.
Because
Are your kids grown?
Because you know gay. I can't look at you while you're like that. We're talking about this stuff. I have to look at you in the pictures. It's like Medusa, Jack. I have to look at her in a mirror.
Jimmy can't look me in the eye and ask me to do burlesque.
As he spins his mic cord.
You look at you, Jack.
Hey, spin it, baby, spin it.
Is your left boob bigger than your right boob, Jack? I'm looking at it on the screen here. It looks full.
It's because I'm leaning.
Very full. Is that your feeder?
Yeah.
But one thing you did know, if you were watching us on YouTube, you learned his technique.
Yeah. Swing that around, dude. I love it. Look, come on, Jack. Come on.
Hey, you had to be watching us to know what he was doing. Come on.
He did that. I licked my lips. It was weird.
What's weird is you immediately looked down when you licked your lips again.
Talked about the weather being no rain and hot and 95 degrees. Welcome to Rockville.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Welcome to Pass Outville.
Yeah. So,
Key words, stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
that's-
once you get into those crowds, once you kind of weave your way up there to try to get yourself a really good kind of seat, it's hard to get out of those crowds.
Yeah, so that
Even if
runs
you want to leave, it's difficult.
Thursday through Sunday, but I remember last year what they were doing is they kind of like they were hitting folks with a fire hose
right? Yeah.
Oh,
from the front
wow.
of the stage, just
Yeah.
spraying the fans down.
I remember they did that with Woodstock, because before it started raining, and that the Woodstock reboot, and I think they had they had a water cannon on stage, and they were hosing people down because they were losing them like one after the other. The band's like, "There's one, there's one, there's one."
And that's the kudos to Jack for going and hanging out and doing. The older I get, the less I can tolerate that kind of extreme heat. And to me, I would literally have to factor in, okay, so which set should I pass out in? So which song do I want to go ahead and lose consciousness?
Well, Jack doesn't get up there for the entire thing. He probably shows up about for the last 4 or 5 bands, right? I know you want to see Green Day.
So, no, out of the 4 days, I'm going on Friday. So, but from 2:00 on are the bands I am interested in, and we are talking. You got Sublime, Bush, Candlebox, Everclear, Jimmy World.
Damn, that's a good one.
Alice in Chains, Green Day, Newfound Glory, Lit, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
God, you know every one of them. Like every one of these bands you've heard of. So you probably know a song of every one.
For
of
me,
them.
Friday's the day.
Yeah. I agree.
Yep. Wednesday it kicks off with Shinedown, Rob Zombie. 3 Days Grace.
Oh, I'd love to see Rob Zombie.
Hellstorm.
Shinedown's great
3 Doors
concert.
Down.
Saw Shinedown when they first started. I've never seen Rob Zombie.
I would love to see Rob.
I hear he's a great guy, though. That's the one thing I do hear about behind the scenes is Rob Zombie is like one of the coolest dudes you could ever meet.
Trivium.
Trivium's an Orlando band, I believe.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, good time, man. I mean, that when you look at that lineup, it sounds fake.
I know.
It sounds like you asked a bunch of metalheads to put together what they thought would be the dream show before they died of cancer or something. And that's exactly what this thing is. It's bananas. And really, to be honest with you, even at the price is what is it, 140 or $50 a ticket, Jack? I know, but when I know you're not, you don't know.
I don't know.
But
even at that cost,
right.
it is.
You think about what you're getting for that cost. If you saw every band, I mean, you're seeing bands that at one point were headlining bands, and you're seeing them for what turns out to be probably $3 each.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like 40 bands a day, 35, 40 bands a day.
It's crazy, dude. And not to mention all the other stuff that goes on during that, the vendor village and everything else. Very cool.
Sounds like a good time.
All right, 407-916-1041. Got a fresh keyword right now. Stay put.
Support the arts and local artists at the Orlando Fringe Festival. With over 100 shows happening now through May 26th. Get more info at orlandofringe.org.
Keep an eye out for a vehicle fire on Gore Street where it meets Tampa Avenue. There's an accident reported on Conroy Road at Millennia Boulevard. The on-ramp's partially blocked from Princeton Street to I-4 eastbound due to an accident there. And emergency crews are clearing up an accident, partially blocking the off-ramp from I-4 eastbound to Kirkman Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Compare your quote, and it is so easy with that mortgage guy, Don. Already have a mortgage quote, and maybe you're wondering if it's any good? You know, a recent study found that less than 20% of us compare that first mortgage quote we get, but you don't want to be a slacker. You want peace of mind. So just go to the website, hit the button that says compare, and that's it. Upload your quote. That mortgage guy, Don, is going to tell you if it's any good, and you can get a quote with no hard credit inquiry. It truly is peace of mind right there at your fingertips. So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Do you love your kids? Send them to Crush Yard Summer Camp, where every day is packed with pickleball, ping pong, arcade games, crafts, cornhole, and more. It's active, creative, and tons of fun. Plus, lunch is included. More than just a camp, it's a summer full of new friends, confidence building, and unforgettable memories. With flexible scheduling and affordable pricing, it's easy to plan your summer your way. Spots are filling fast. Sign up now at crushyard.com/camps.
Man, you just heard us talking about that weather coming, 95 degrees. Summer is officially here. You have to ask yourself, is your AC ready for another brutal, long Florida summer? Well, if you don't even think it has a chance, please take a few minutes to call my friends over at Mills Air. These guys are all about making sure that your AC is going to be able to tough it out all summer long. Their preventive maintenance plan goes through your entire system. Everything to make sure that it is good to go, and they know what they're doing. 30 years of experience in Central Florida, and their techs can service any brand out there. Don't worry about what you have. They know how to repair it. Not to mention, Mills Air, Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. That's important. It could get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today. It's 407-277-1159. Find them online at millsair.com.
Think you're not the suing type? But you aren't at fault. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. You didn't choose this accident, the bills, or the damage. Don't cover for someone else's mistake. Just call Mo. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
When dealerships compete for your trade, you win at Greenway Kia. Trade your car with us and over 40 Greenway dealerships will compete to buy it. So you get the best possible value, as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value. Wondering what your trade is worth? Get your appraisal online at greenwaykias.com or visit us at East Colonial, West Colonial, and 1792 North in Longwood. I'm Joe Rossi, and Greenway Kia proudly thanks all active and retired military members for your service.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Hey guys, not feeling like yourself? Visit Game Day Men's Health, one of the nation's largest men's health clinics, specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED treatments, medical weight loss, and shockwave therapy, with locations in Winter Park, Lake Mary, and downtown. They can create a customized game plan for you. Set up your free testosterone testing consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Mention 104.1 and get a second service free when you buy one. Game Day Men's Health, helping men perform and feel their best.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 That's check. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Colbert crew.
Well, you're late.
Sorry I'm late. You know who. Your favorite tea back in Rockledge. Today we celebrate National Tulip Day. Not only can you tiptoe through them, tiptoe through the tulips, but you know what's even better than roses on your piano? Tulips on your organ. Have a good show.
Thank you.
What up, guys? Sport from Duval.
Duval.
Talking about bad burnt smells, my daughter went to her grandma's house. She was 10 years old and wanted to cook macaroni out of those little styrofoam cups in the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she put it in there for 2 minutes. 40 seconds later, the smoke alarm's going off because she forgot to add water. She cooked raw macaroni noodles in a microwave for 40 seconds.
My daughter
and when that smell, my God.
That was
my daughter was 10 years old when that happened. She just graduated from Florida State with her master's, and that smell is still in that house, man.
My kid did the same
I honestly would pay all the money in the world right now to see Jimmy strut out on stage with his head a-shining and just shake his groove thing
With a feather
and start taking off the denim shirt he's probably wearing.
I got a much better idea.
What the heck is Crush R and where is it located? My God, they bought so much advertisement. Good for them, because this is the right radio station to do it with. Real Radio 104.1. I want $1,000. I want.
Oh, you want.
Okay.
Larry, you scared me there for a moment.
You have to double check. When I say stuff on the air, I use my my Jimmery. You know what your Jimmery is? It's my gym memory. And I've learned that my Jimmery is about 2/3 right. And then the other third sounds right.
And you just roll with
and by
it.
the way, sounds very convincing. The Jimmery is able to give you a very convincing number.
No.
And Rossi says all the time, if you say it with conviction, people are going to buy it. But Trivium, the lead singer, Matt Heafy, is an Orlando guy. He's actually was born in Japan.
Oh, wow.
But Trivium, he's the lead vocalist and lead guitar player for Trivium, which is an Orlando band. And I believe his wife owns like the Winter Park Biscuit Company over there in Easton Market, I believe. Or they're in the food business in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. And also, thanks to all the listeners who called to let us know Alice in Chains not playing at Rockville. They had to cancel the rest of their tour because drummer Sean Kinney is going through cancer treatment. He fell ill last week, and they had to cancel their tour so he could deal with that.
Yeah.
We wish him well.
We do, man, for sure. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Always text us at 77031. Your 5 o'clock keyword is check, CHECK. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Check is your 5 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We hope you win for sure. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. I'm Jim. There's Deb. And Jack is here as well. Let me ask you guys something. If you, when you walk through the store, do you worry about when you're buying stuff about the calorie count, what's in it? I know that there's like kind of a movement now to start paying attention to the labels and what's in your food. Do you guys do that?
Of course, we know he does. He just went from fat-free half and half.
But I don't understand like the movement now. I just haven't. People always been reading what's in the packages and what they buy.
Okay, so I would say this. Since the MAHA thing started with RFK, the MAHA, Make America Healthy Again.
Okay.
So there's that MAHA mom movement. This has been a thing now for about 18 months where these, TikTok moms and Instagram moms that are part of the MAHA movement are out there telling you what's good for your kids, not good for your kids.
Oh, you mean like the women removing folic acid from their baked goods?
Yeah.
That's smart.
They're going in and they're misrepresenting what's in baby formula to make it seem like a political movement. And this is happening everywhere. If you go to TikTok and Instagram, you can see these chicks everywhere doing it, right? Well, this isn't a combat of that. This is out of St. Paul, Minnesota, that it says if you walk through stores and see more people holding their phone and food items, don't be alarmed because now there's an app.
Oh, yeah.
A new app where you can actually scan the code and it will tell you everything you need to know about what's in that product. Because here's the thing. You can look at the ingredients list. You can also look at the RDA or the FDA information. But unless you understand what that means for your body and what you're supposed to be getting per day, it doesn't really help. So what they're saying is these apps, it's the soaring popularity, by the way.
Oh, that's true.
Of smartphone apps that scan barcodes on food products and cosmetics, by the way, to provide with health scores. That they say it's really empowering consumers and it's shifting dynamics on how people shop for food and stuff. And they display independently researched health information about ingredients for packaged food items and cosmetics, and they're tapping into customers' mistrust of big organizations and corporations when it comes to what's being put in your food.
Well, it's not just mistrust, absolutely. I know my stylist uses this app because for anybody who may have celiac disease or they're dealing with anything that goes on in your body, right, and putting in the wrong food might end up aggravating the situation.
Sure, yeah.
He bought like an almond milk or something that said it was good for you and had all of these other claims. So he got it thinking it wasn't going to be an issue, ended up making him sick. And he said, had I just used that app, it would have told me that this is not what the ingredients were. I would have known not to do it. But I just was busy and just skipped the app that day.
You got to find out if it's Bobby approved.
Oh, yeah, if it's Bobby, RFK approved?
No, Bobby Parrish, who from Flav City, he does these YouTube channels. He has an app, and you can scan it, and if it's Bobby approved, it tells you it's good stuff. If not, it tells you why. Like if there's natural flavorings, not good. When it says natural flavorings, because that's a bunch of stuff in there. But but he tells you why. In the app, you scan items. He often does things like he does videos like what's good to get it all every month. What's good to get at Aldi? What's good to get at Costco? What's good to get at Walmart?
Right.
And he goes through all the stores each month and he scouts out the deals and he tells you what's healthy.
Damn, that's great.
And things you should avoid.
Who is this guy?
Bobby Parrish. He did a food show. He was part of a food show years ago and has converted that into a YouTube
Interesting.
channel.
I've not heard
I
of
believe
this.
he lives in Florida, too.
I've not heard of that. That's wild. So the cool thing here is they've seen about 200 million downloads of different health apps of some sort. The one that we're talking about is called Yuka, which is Yuka. And it was created by two French people, and the whole idea is you scan the barcode, and it gives you the rating of the food, what's in it, the company's reputation of transparency. And I think we went through this a few years back. Wasn't there a food labeling like transparency legislation that passed a few years back where food labeling, when it said real this or 100% this or whatever, it had to kind of omit sayings that were kind of misleading to the customer, and kind of like what you were saying with this Bobby app. I've not heard of that before, but it's kind of like the same thing. Just letting you know where they're really telling you the truth and where they're not telling you the truth, and what those labels actually mean when they say, well, it doesn't have this or it has that, because it could substitute something for that would be just as bad. But of course, you've been like kind of Pavlovian. Oh man,
Jack. There you go.
You've been classically conditioned to,
to
understand that certain things trigger thoughts in your head about whether it's healthy or not.
I have wished for years that the U.S. would follow or go more in the way of Europe and the U.K. So many of these ingredients that we still allow in this country have been banned for years in Europe. Non-GMO, I mean, just the products are so much safer. So we're the place where they charge us the most for pharmaceuticals to heal the diseases that are caused most by the crap food.
Isn't that crazy? And every person I know that travels to Europe tells you when you go over there and you taste their food, everything is the bread's different, the eggs are different, the milk is different, everything's different.
Anywhere you go around the world is different than what you taste here.
It says here that to use the app, customers scan the barcodes, and then what it does is this proprietary algorithm gives you a score of 1 to 100 and then slots each food into a category, green being excellent, light green being good, orange being average, red being bad. If it gets a bad judge or a bad score, it actually tells you not only why it's bad, but what a good alternative for that food would be that could give you the same sensation or flavor or profile that wouldn't be in the red category.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, it says the basic app functions are free for users. Of course, there is a premium subscription you can use, probably and that creates the operating income for it. But it basically, gives you a lot more information on what the food is, where you can get it, why it's there, all those things. Yeah, it's now available in 12 countries with 55 million users. So if you want to download that, it's called Yuka. It is launched in North America. It did that in 2022. That's Yuka. There are others. Actually, Bobby Approved just came up on the list here.
Oh, cool.
Fig, Food Switch, Food Scan Genius, and Trash Panda are all apps that do kind of the same thing, that basically tell you what you're buying and if it's good or not. And I'll tell you, one of the companies or one of the areas I remember this being really effective was in yogurt products.
Oh, wow.
Because yogurt products, man, because of the sugar in the yogurt product, if you're not getting the right thing, it's kind of wild how they do that. It's you think,
you just assume yogurt is healthy?
Right.
Yeah, it is not.
That was one of the ones I remember specifically with that transparency and packaging, that they killed the yogurt industry because they were really being misleading, probiotics and all this other stuff. I'm not telling you this stuff is packed with sugar,
Right, exactly.
All right, 407-916-1041. Check is your 5 o'clock keyword. That's CHECK. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Back in 1 sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
Let's work in Big Al, who has a dispatch about the Chimp Crazy show.
Sean, it is sad. Call me a wussy if you want, but at least I have a heart and I don't laugh at my girlfriend when she cries. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
Thanks,
All right,
wussy.
The news junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a vehicle fire where Orange Center Boulevard meets Tampa Avenue, a crash on Conroy Road at Millennia Boulevard. Multiple lanes are blocked on I-4 westbound at Central Florida Parkway due to an accident there. Keep an eye out for a crash, partially blocking the ramp from Princeton Street to I-4 eastbound. The roadways are busy this afternoon, so travel with caution. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. Office in Orlando, 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Man, the real estate market is always changing, especially now more than ever. And the Nickley Group has an entire team of local market experts to guide you every step of the way and even help you decide when it might be the right time for you to buy or sell. That's just the beginning of why these guys are the best. And it really is. When you have this team, and it is a team on your side, it is the great. You have like an army of people that know real estate in Central Florida better than anybody out there. If you're a buyer, nobody is going to work harder to find you that dream home than the team at Nickley. They'll check every single box. School district, whether it's waterfront, golf front, whatever you want, these guys got you covered. And if you're a seller, you're in the best shape ever, because here in Central Florida, home prices still selling for top dollar. And if you're ready to kind of liquidate your asset and take advantage of that, nobody's going to do that better than the Nickley Group. These guys on average get about 6% more for their properties than their competitors, and they sell their properties twice as fast. So many Google positive reviews, 5-star, 4,000 of them, and their VIP program is crazy as well. Free appraisals, free home warranties, free moving trucks and supplies. But if you don't want to deal with any of that, you say, look, man, I just want to get my money and move on. They can cover you there as well. If you go to the website, guaranteed cash offer, no showings or open houses, and you can close in as little as 14 days. It's the NickleyGroup.com. That's NICKLEY Group.com.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
The Jim Colbert Show question of the day is up in our YouTube chat. It's brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com. That's Brad Siebert and his team at We Are Not the Bank. Direct mortgage lenders, whatever you need to do with your mortgage. Maybe you want to refi it and do a refinance and use that money for debt consolidation. Maybe you want to looking for a new home. This is the time where you are ready to move into a new home. He can help do that as well. And if you need the money from your current home to get into your next home, let's call it your forever home, he has a move-up buyers program allowing you to use the equity from your current home for that next purchase. And if it's new construction, he has special programs for you as well. WeAreNotTheBanks.com, licensed nationwide, and they can take care of you for all your mortgage needs. Contact Brad Siebert today. It's WeAreNotTheBanks.com. NMLS ID number 150953, equal housing opportunity.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Greenway Kia proudly thanks all active and retired military members for your service. If you're in the market for a sedan or SUV, we've got the perfect Kia for you. Tariff-free and in stock now. Drive home a new 2025 Kia Sportage for just $299 per month for 36 months with zero due at signing. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, visit greenwaykias.com today.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 0 security deposit plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 6/15/25.
Sunnyside drains.
Water is backing up from my drains, and there's a nasty smell coming from them.
Ooh-wee, that is bad.
Wait, how are you smelling it too?
You should call someone about that.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Blech.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your drains are backed up, you need a highly skilled technician who's not afraid to get a little dirty. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Hey guys, not feeling like yourself? Visit Game Day Men's Health, one of the nation's largest men's health clinics, specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED treatments, medical weight loss, and shockwave with locations in Winter Park, Lake Mary, and downtown. They can create a customized game plan for you. Set up your free testosterone test and consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Mention 104.1 and get a second service free when you buy one. Game Day Men's Health, helping men perform and feel their best.
Mornings are unpredictable. But West 2 News Sunrise can get your day started on the right track.
We have team coverage this morning
with breaking news and what's happening now.
Breaking this morning, investigators.
Central Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Central Florida is under a first warning severe weather warning day.
And up-to-the-minute traffic to simplify your morning commute.
Impacting traffic exiting at that ramp this morning.
Jason, Meredith, Sonica, Kellyanne, and Megan. West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
On the next Access Hollywood.
10 years after her terrifying robbery in Paris, Kim Kardashian takes the stand, confronting the criminals for the first time. Then the Kelsey brothers on their Mother's Day surprise, and Kylie's claim that Jason has no game. Plus, Tony nominees Nicole Scherzinger and Audra McDonald have their Oprah dreams come true.
I just gave her the biggest hug, and she just embraced me, and it's a really important moment for me in my life I will never forget.
Next, Access Hollywood.
Hey, Mario Lopez here. Please join me for Access Hollywood tonight at 7:30 on West 2.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Ray Trendley here. Call TK Law today to learn about how our collaboratively trained attorneys can build a team that avoids the stress of litigation. No court battles, just solutions. OneFirmForLife.com.
Made for This Mountain exists to empower listeners to rise above their struggles and face the mountain in front of them. So during Mental Health Awareness Month, focus on your emotional well-being. Tune into the podcast and climb that mountain.
You will never be able to change or grow through the thing that you refuse to identify. The thing that you refuse to say, hey, this is my mountain. This is the struggle.
Listen to Made for This Mountain on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Made for This Mountain.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
This is the Jim Colbert Show. Take us with you for free on the iHeartRadio app. Still to come, the common sense financial advice you need. It's Only Money with Scott Brown, today at 6:20 on the Jim Colbert Show.
Your 2000s teen rom-com dreams just got biblical. The King Must Die at Orlando Fringe in the Orange venue, where eyeliner's thick, hearts are broken, and Jesus is a player? Grab your tickets now. First show is Saturday at 6:35.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah.
Check is your 5 o'clock keyword, CHECK. You know what to do. Get over to Real Radio and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Yeah, Fringe is upon us, opening tonight. Ross's show is tomorrow, orlandofringe.org if you want to check out all the schedule. And if you are a Fringe team out there, if you're a Fringe performer, feel free to call us and leave a talkback during this time to promote your show. We had a number of people jumping on that last year, and it turned out to be quite advantageous for them. So you can do the same.
Yeah, past couple of years we've been doing it. It's been a lot of fun. Today it was my annual trek out there to put up our Real Radio and Jim Colbert Show banners.
Which I saw. Thank you very much. It looks amazing.
Throughout the campus.
Yeah.
What's different this year is everything is at Lock Haven Park. This year.
No off-sites.
And also the Wren and Savoy. Yeah, nothing downtown.
Right.
Like they had in previous years, so they don't need the shuttle service.
Yeah.
Everything is in that
which is
area,
great.
Confined area.
Way better. And the Wren's right there.
Yep.
And then Savoy is just down Orange Avenue, just a couple blocks. You can easily walk there.
Yeah. But it's exciting seeing everyone getting everything ready, the outside stage, the beer garden area, and that all kicks off tonight. And it looks like they'll have a nice stretch without rain to
That's gonna
deal
be
with.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That is, because usually we have to deal with that rain this time of year.
Yeah, it's
And-
not. It's just going to be sweat. It's going to feel like rain, but it's just sweat.
But you know what? If you look at the forecast, it's kind of odd. It is going to be relatively mild in the evenings. So if you're out there in the evening and you're out there at one of the beer gardens or at the outside shows or tents or whatever, you're watching Angel DJ, Sabrina do her thing, you can enjoy yourself and it won't be miserable. You
Just
know?
bring a mister.
There you go. That's all. So an interesting concept is happening in Volusia County. This is 2 days in a row we're talking about Volusia County.
Uh-oh, they're on one.
And I wonder if this is going to be possibly something that'll be coming to Orlando. How many neighborhoods do you think in our city are prone to flooding? We know Lockhart has one, right?
The Rosemont area.
The Rosemont and downtown College Park has one because that area flooded really, really bad. Just off Fairbanks there was an area there.
Almost bought in College Park.
How about that complex, that apartment complex out by UCF?
Right.
They got flooded next to the little Econ where they basically had to condemn half of that thing, did they not? Or come close to it.
G Creek, which is, I don't know, maybe 4 inches of water that runs through Winter Springs. There were houses along that had first floor flooding after that storm.
We had some friends that had water in their house for a month.
Yeah.
Angela and Tom.
Oh, really?
They couldn't use their den for a month because that creek came up because they live over in that area.
Yeah.
And that creek came up and it flooded that Tom told me all about it. You know, he was the guy who designed the Kathy Paget Will Kill You t-shirt.
Right.
So we were talking about it, and I've known his wife for many, many years. She used to be a sales rep here. And they said that water was in their house forever. And that was just next to a little creek, like Jack said. The damn thing's no more than 4 inches deep most of the year. You know, when you get this deluge and there's nowhere for the water to go, you know, it happens that way. Well, in Volusia County, they kind of started taking some action over in DeLand. This lady, Donna Rooney, said we had about 4 feet of water in their house, completely condemned. As soon as they were to come in, the city came in and condemned the property. Now the county is going to buy 50 homes like Donna's and the ones that are flooded, and they're going to tear them down. County leaders signed off on a $130 million action plan in federal aid to help Volusia recover from Hurricane Milton and to prepare for the next big storm.
Is this in Osteen?
No, it says DeLand.
Oh, DeLand, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Osteen's low as well. It's out there by the river. I mean, you may be able to deal with some stuff out that. But and they said it's up to HUD to give the final approval. Volusia Chair Jeff Brower said $20 million of that money is set aside to buy homes that keep flooding. So I wonder if we have these homes, and Lockhart is the one that I keep remembering. Whenever there's a storm, the news stations just drive there and wait because it's coming, you know. But there are a number of those places here in Central Florida that are like that, and it's because of the sprawl in the city. There's nowhere really for the water to go, and I wonder if Orange County is going to follow those guys' leads and maybe do some of this and help some of these people out. I mean, buying their home and relocating them is one thing, and some of these people in that apartment complex specifically, my son used to live over in that area, and that road was not passable for months as the little Econ kind of dropped down. They had barriers because that bridge was completely washed over, and that apartment complex is right there.
I think in the case of Volusia County, I just remember one heartbreaking story of this woman and her husband. They had just moved down here like the year before when, I can't remember if it was Milton or whatever, but their home had flooded like 5 to 6 times. And after a while, you just don't, who's going to cover that? Who's going to pay for that? And it has to be the county comes in and says, all right, we're just going to buy it and tear it down because nobody can live in it.
And Deb, listen, the hurricane thing is really the cherry on the ice cream because I got to tell you, if we just have extended storms like we've had for the last 2 or 3 days where it's dropping 3 or 4 or 5 inches of rain in a really short period of time, some of these neighborhoods, that's all it takes. It doesn't really take a hurricane or sustain, you know, it takes a deluge for a couple days and next thing you know, you get a problem.
Isn't that Altoona is one of them?
I don't know if Altoona has that issue or not. I mean, I know that again, I keep thinking about that Lockhart area that every time, and of course that Stone Island over on the other side of the river in DeLand or DeBerry, I should say, or Deltona. That thing floods when it dews hard. I mean, I'm not kidding, man. It is ridiculous. But I don't know how the county could possibly do that. And the thing is if you move onto a body of water in Central Florida, you have to do your research.
Yeah.
The house we were in Geneva, we were on a pond. The first thing my wife did was go and see what the floodplain was.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're like that's a 500-year floodplain where we were. That thing's high as hell, and that pond still came up to almost like within 20 feet of our back porch. It was up like 4 feet. It was crazy. That's the same flooding that happened to the river, and those people over in Sanford and Geneva, they got run out of their homes for months. Some of them will never go back to those homes.
And why would you?
But the thing is that's not really what this is mitigating, though. These are just neighborhoods internally in the city where the civic design or the civil design was not good enough to drain the stormwater when it needed to be drained. It just simply didn't have anywhere to go. So that's the homes they're talking about. And I wonder how many of those people in Central Florida, if they see that this is a successful program, can get some of that federal money and do it around here as well. Maybe throughout the entire state, but internally, you buy a house here in Central Florida, it's not on a body of water. You don't expect to be in 4 inches of water every time it rains hard.
No, not at all. Again, I know it was during a hurricane, but my best friend lives in Altamont, not rumored to be a real flood-prone area. But, someone doesn't open up the storm drain and turn on the pumps.
Right,
and,
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it says in DeLand, Orange Camp Road was closed for 3 weeks. Georgetown, Sanford has many streets that flood. The Little Wekiva along San Landon area floods. Oviedo has bad flowing near Haggerty High School. And again, when when the sprawl comes at this level and you're destroying land at this level where there's nothing to soak up the water and you redirect that water, I mean, if you don't redirect it well, or the places you direct it to aren't ready for that kind of water, it's just going to go where it's got to go, which is into your house.
Into your house for the 4th, 5th time.
Yeah, costing like tens of that, if you can even repair it, if the insurance company will even bother.
Yeah.
It's like Jack's car. Jack takes a perfectly good car, no problem whatsoever, has a little fender bender in the front. Next thing you know, his car's totaled.
Yeah.
Now it went from what should have been a $400 or $600 repair to completely totaling the car and then paying $20,000.
Well, that's what happens with those fiberglass bumpers that, they take the shape back on after the accident, but your frame doesn't.
Yeah. Interesting, man. So we'll see how this goes. They're in the process of drafting policies for the voluntary buyout component of this Hurricane Milton homeowner repair and recovery program. So if you're out there in Volusia County and you can hear me, I would say you probably need to contact the city there and find out if you qualify for this.
Absolutely.
If you have a flooding issue, man, if I lived in that county and I knew there was $20 million on the bank, in the bank, and I could go up there and maybe get something done, I'd do it.
Got to raise them up.
Yeah, I don't know how many times your house has to flood to qualify for this either. I would think that if it's flooded for the last 3 hurricanes, you probably qualify.
So in Jersey, after Sandy, like along the shore there,
oh yeah,
they've built the first floor is basically it's a raised house, and that's your garage and carport area is that bottom level, and then you have to go up until you get to the residential level. But I don't know, when you build up a house to do it and also be able to withstand all the hurricane activity that we get.
Yeah. Jack, when you go out into the Geneva area around Lake Harney and Lake Jessup, those lakes are very shallow and wide.
Yes.
So it does not take a lot of rain for them to kind of go over the bank. So if you drive back in there, every single house back there is, 15 feet up on blocks. Along the river, if you got to go back there, I mean, they're all up. The new ones are.
Yeah.
They're way up. I mean, I could take you to 10 houses back on this road. I wish I could remember the name of it. I want to say it starts with a W. But every house on that road flooded. It was impassable during the hurricane, and it was like that for weeks.
Was there a gator issue out there? Because Lake Jessup is known for having a lot of gators, right?
Yeah, I think the most of any one body of water in Florida.
By the way, I said Altoona. It was Astor.
Astor, yeah.
Astor's the one that
Astor does have that issue.
Yeah.
The river flooding there. But again, if you live on the river, you have to understand the river is small on this side of Lake George. On the other side of Lake George, going toward Putnam County, the river is gigantic up there, very wide, and there's more room here. It bottlenecks going into Lake George and around that Astor area,
right.
And that's why it floods so prevalently and a lot, too much.
So a texter says they live in Lockhart along the Little Wekiva, and it does not flood there. They said it floods further down behind the Chuck E. Cheese area and Congo River, and that's right off of 436.
Yeah, that's right off 436. Yeah. But I don't know that as being Lockhart. Lockhart's over the other way.
Yeah,
over on 434 this way.
Yeah.
But
wow.
What?
Somebody just texted 77031. We're building a new home. We need to be 18 inches above the crown of the road, pretty high up. So I guess new building codes must be.
Yeah.
insisting on that.
I got bad news for you. If you're in Florida and you're near a body of water, you probably need to get your house up in the air and just kind of understand that you're going to be dealing with that. That's just how it is.
Look at what they've told some folks in the Keys.
Yeah.
They've told some folks in the Keys, listen, in some short years to come, some of these roads are going to disappear.
Yep.
And that's going to mean your house is going to disappear. And there's nothing that we can do to fix this.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the next decade for people who live coastally. Our buddy Matt.
Yeah, Brother
Matt. I mean, he lives over there on the coast. That water's coming up. There's nothing you can do about it. And I don't care what you believe in or not believe in. It's coming up. And in 10 years, it's going to be very interesting. They're already dealing with this in Miami.
Oh,
they're freaking out in Miami.
Outside of King Tides, yeah.
They are freaking out in Miami right now.
Yeah.
Because of this. I mean, you're talking hundreds of millions, billions of dollars in real estate down there. Billions.
That's why they've been traveling and working with the Dutch.
Yeah.
Because they're so good with water mitigation.
St. Augustine's going to deal with it. New York's going to deal with it. Any of these places that are going to be affected by the water rising from climate change are going to deal with this eventually in some way, shape, or form, for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Don't forget, your 5 o'clock keyword is check, CHECK. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Had a winner last night around 6. Hopefully we can get you some money before we get out of here today. We'll take a little break, come back, and do trivia, so load them up. It's time for prizes.
Do you want to play a game? Good. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is next. Call now, 407-916-1041.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Baseball Commissioner Ron Manfred has removed Pete Rose and shoeless Joe Jackson from the sports ban list. That means both could now be eligible for the Hall of Fame. Rose had accepted a ban in August of 1989 from then Commissioner A. Bartlett Giamatti after an investigation found he had bet on games while managing the Reds. NBA playoffs tonight, the Pacers try and close out the Cavs, and the Nuggets visit the Thunder. I'm Frank Garrity.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
Look, man, you upgrade your phone, you upgrade your car. Why, oh, why are you still stuck with outdated vision? Glasses and contacts, man, that's old tech. Get over at the Filatowski Eye Institute. They bring you the ultimate upgraded, clearer vision. And they do that every single day of the week. So you can ditch the hassle, level up your life, and schedule that free consultation today at the Filatowski Eye Institute. These guys are the absolute best. Here's how you make your appointment. Couldn't be easier. Dial pound 250, say better vision. That's it. Dial pound 250, better vision.
Visit Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa today to sign up for Unity by Hard Rock, the global loyalty program unlike any other, designed to reward you for doing what you love. New members receive a limited edition Seminole Hard Rock Tampa t-shirt and can play up to $200 on us. Slots, tables, stays, dining. Get rewarded for your experience. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Your oasis awaits at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
In case you haven't seen the forecast lately, we're about to really crank up the heat. Daytime highs in the mid to upper 90s. Ugh. Keep that AC inside and the heat and humidity outside by replacing your old windows and doors with the latest designs from Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim Impact windows and doors offer excellent insulation, reducing energy loss and helping to lower your utility bills while maintaining a comfortable indoor temperature year-round. Rick says all of the personnel involved with my project were professional and courteous. Rarely does my wife comment on how much she enjoyed talking to a salesman. Renewal by Andersen's Window of Opportunity savings event is going on now. Buy 2 windows or patio doors, get the third 60% off plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here, and I've got great news. The Filatowski Eye Institute is now offering a free LASIK exam to see if you're a candidate, plus $500 off each eye when you elect a procedure. That's $1,000 off your surgery, but it's for a limited time only. Ditch those glasses because this offer won't last. Simply dial pound 250 and say better vision. That way you can schedule your appointment today. That's pound 250 and say better vision. The Filatowski Eye Institute. Trusted, local, life-changing.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee you, if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
New Year's resolution is to sell your home? Get a guaranteed cash offer today at thenickleyGroup.com.
Smart speakers can't stop you from saying stupid stuff when you're coming out of anesthesia. When I grow up, I want to be a puppy. But they can play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. All you got to do is ask. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
We went to Bonnaroo a few years ago, and one of the girls that was camping with us, she would get up in the morning and make breakfast for everybody. Very nice. She would butter the griddle before she put the bacon on it. Anyways, she was putting milk into the eggs to make omelets, and one of the girls who's really lactose intolerant was like, well, no wonder my stomach's been messed up if you're putting milk in there. And she goes, oh, no, this isn't milk, it's half and half. And we were like, Katie, what do you think half and half is? Some people don't know.
Hey, Jim. Happy Tuesday. Hey, real quick, Latitude 18 checking in. Check out the story of Toch, T-O-C-H, for your next What to Do New. It's a fascinating story about early Flamingo, Florida, rum smuggling from Cuba all the way up to Tampa, and then eventually drug smuggling and the rest of it. But it is an absolute thrill to see, you know.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Check is your 5 o'clock keyword, C-H-E-C-K. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. Hope you win for sure. Welcome back. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
And Jack has the Jackie sack. Let's find out what's in it. All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo-choo. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
Here's the deal with the Jackie Sack today. In it, I have a pair of tickets to see Orlando City versus the Portland Timbers. This is happening at Inter & Co Stadium May 24th. As a matter of fact, they have a game tomorrow night. These tickets are for May 24th, but Orlando City trying to get back in the winning ways. They had a 3-3 draw over the weekend, and I was there. Exciting at times. Also in the Jackie Sack today, a pair of tickets to see Oscar and Emmy-nominated writer, critically acclaimed actor and comedian Kumail Nanjiani at the Hard Rock Live. He's coming to Orlando Friday, November 14th. Tickets, however, are on sale now. Go to Hard Rock Live box office or Ticketmaster, but you save on fees if you go to the Hard Rock Live box office, between you and me. And guess what? This week, thanks to our friends at Threat Locker, we have CEO Danny Jenkins coming in on Friday. They have given us a Threat Locker prize pack to give away to our winners this week. So our winner today will be eligible for that as well. Those are the prizes for today's game.
So back to you, Clickety Clack.
Thank you so much. Who goes first today, Deborah? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Oh, in your honor, Jimmy, let's go with number 3.
Oh, number 3. Let's go with 3 indeed.
Let's go with 3.
Scott, how you doing, buddy?
Great.
That's awesome. Want to play a little game with us?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it indeed, buddy.
Game show.
All right,
No,
Scott.
We have two Scotts on the phone. I think that Scott was wondering if it was him or the other one. That's why I got their initials.
Scott, this is a very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is a lie.
No.
If you can find it, though, buddy, I'll send you over to the old Jackie Sack, and you can find something nice for yourself. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go, buddy. On this day in 1977, radio legend Howard Stern begins his broadcasting career on this day at WRNW Radio in Briarcliff Manor, New York City.
Wow.
Here are 3 fun facts about Howard Stern and 1 road paving lie. Thanks, Howard. I appreciate that for the 30-year job. That's for sure. All right, here we go, buddy. We're talking about Howard Stern. Which one of these is not true? Number 1, Howard has a national chess ranking of 1,800. Experts start ranking at 2,000. Number 2, at the time of its release in 1993, Howard's book Miss America was the fastest-selling Simon & Schuster book ever. Number 3, Howard is a brown belt in Japanese Shotokan karate.
Oh.
Or lastly, Howard and his wife Beth currently own 12 cats, but have fostered over 900 cats. Which of those is a lie?
I think it's number 1. I think it's better than that.
It is number 1.
No.
But he's wrong on why. He's actually not that good. He's only a 1,600, but he is a nationally ranked chess player at a 1,600 score, not 1,800.
But Scott knew something about it. He just didn't take a random stab.
Yeah, way to go.
Like yesterday.
Good job, Scott, buddy. You're a winner. I'm going to put you on hold.
Sorry, Scott P.
Although 3 didn't win in the game, 3 won on the phone.
Right?
Did you guys? Would you have guessed that one?
And
you know him.
know. Yeah, but
You know him. You've known him as long as you've been in this business, and
it's true. But the cat thing, I thought the cat thing was probably true. I think they probably financed for 900 cats to be fostered.
Yeah.
Right.
Howard,
somehow.
Did everybody have Howard as a martial arts guy? Everybody had that?
I could see
I've
that.
never even heard that. I've know a lot about this guy's career. No clue that he does martial arts.
I didn't know he played chess either. So I would say it was either 1 or 3. What was 2?
2 was the at the time of its release, his Miss America book was the best-selling book
I
in
believe
Simon.
that.
And by the way, his other book, which was
Private Parts.
Yeah, that one also sold very well. It got beat by Bob Woodward's book on Trump. Yeah, which was I think is the best-selling of Schuster's of all time.
Oh wow!
He and his wife Beth do own 12 cats, but they have fostered over 900 cats. A few other things you may not know about Howard before we get to the top of the hour. Don't forget, we do have Scott Brown on the other side of this. Fred Silly Money
is the craziest part.
What?
I would not have seen Howard Stern as a cat guy.
Who knows about him? I mean, who knows? The one thing about Howard that we have known is he is unbelievably private. Like, unbelievably private. Like, even when we were working and he was on this station, there was no contact between management and Howard. No, nothing. There was no correspondence between his show and the build.
That's
and
because he's
this building.
Howard Stern. He doesn't need to talk to you people.
Yeah, he doesn't need any of that. He has armed guards that walk him through the building when he leaves every day so that people won't talk to him in the hallways. That's a true story. There was a guy who just wrote a story about that, said that he was in the building and accidentally said hi to Howard as he was being walked out. And the next day, his access was revoked, and Howard had 2 guards that walked him to the door. He had them build him his own bathroom in that facility. And I forget, they talked about the cost of it at one point. Somebody who worked in there in that building.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to use the bathroom everybody else built, so they built him his own private bathroom suite.
I get that one.
Yeah, to the tune of like $100,000 or something. It was a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
Early in his career, he was known as...
Fart Man.
No, that's a good one, though. Hop Along Howie.
Really?
Yeah, early in his career. In Hebrew school, he used to run a marionette show. So he was a puppeteer when he was young, and he would write the scripts and do the whole thing and do the whole show. Howard practices transcendental meditation.
That I knew.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while. That I did know. And then lastly here, it was the national chess ranking thing. It's the one I chose to try to make it and I failed miserably, or I won at getting somebody a prize.
There you go.
Go with the fact that you won.
Scott H. Sorry, everyone else. Sorry, all the thousands of listeners who don't win a prize today.
How many is that in a row for the first one? Is it like three or four?
I thought it was more like 17, 18.
It's not, Jack. It's not.
Has it been like all year?
It hasn't been all year. I had a small winning streak there for a bit.
Seems like it.
Oh, come on now, guys. We got to take those controls away from him.
How is that? How do I get that? How does that happen? Like, how does that happen? Like 3 or 4 days in a row, just automatically they choose the right one? Like, all the
luck, buddy.
Is it just
it's
luck?
Just luck?
It can't be.
Yes,
like 3 days in a row with 4, they just pick it, boom, they nail it?
I guess so.
Okay, we're going to go to multiple choice here soon. I've thought about changing up the trivia game. I don't know what I'd do, though, because I love doing it. It's fun, but I hate losing.
You know, when you're not here, we have a special, we have a new intro. You've never heard it for Brad.
Yeah.
When
oh,
Brad
yeah,
sends
that's
it.
right.
That's always good to have yourself in the dark on your own show. Yeah, go ahead. Nothing.
It's time for JCS Trivia. Wait, is Colbert off again?
It's in my contract, dude.
Fortunately, this station has listeners that'll do the work just to hear their name on the radio. As if AI wasn't enough of a threat to our jobs. It's time for Brad's Trivia on the Jim Colbert Show.
God, I hope Brad loses as much as I do.
Oh, no, it's always the last player, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure it always is. All right, let's take a little break.
Look at me, Jack.
Top of the hour, we have another keyword for you coming up here in just a few minutes. And, of course, we have Scott Brown on the other side. Let's see what we have to talk about when we come back. Oh, yeah. Did you know they're making a Siegfried and Roy movie?
I did not.
Did you? I'll tell you who's starring in it next.
All right.
You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show. The 2025 Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival is happening now through May 26th. Learn how to fringe now at orlandofringe.org.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash getting cleared up on I-4 westbound approaching Central Florida Parkway. A vehicle fire is reported where Orange Center Boulevard meets Tampa Avenue. Look out for an accident getting cleared up off to the shoulder on State Road 429 northbound before Redbug Lake Road. There's an accident reported on Conroy Road at Millennium Boulevard. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic southbound on the Turnpike before Osceola Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Featuring new mixing bowl mashup, fan-voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time, right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. At participating locations.
Ooh, man, let me tell you something. Jim Colbert here, my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Time to be a hero and tell your friends about Life Imaging FLA. Look, man, if you have somebody in your family you think that could really benefit from this scan at Life Imaging FLA, get them over there. You know, we did this with our in-laws. They were in that age where they should probably start paying attention to what's happening with their health. And the instant that my wife and I did our scans and we saw how easy it was and how much information we got from it and how our doctors reacted to the scans when we took them to their doctors, we immediately demanded that my wife's mom and dad got over to Life Imaging FLA to get this heart scan. And let me tell you you something. I was standing right next to her when her mom called to tell her that, hey, your dad's heart is perfectly fine. Calcium score of 0. Everything's good. It's just that relief you get from knowing that you've done something for yourself that could really extend your life so you can enjoy this time with your friends and family. So don't wait. Do what we did. Call Life Imaging FLA and get this free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And this is important. While you're there, please ask about their cancer screening as well. For sure, early detection can save your life. Here's how you make your appointment. Simply pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, and say that keyword free heart scan. That's it, guys. Pound 250, say that keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. It's time to get into Life Imaging FLA and take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeart Media.
Real Radio is kicking off the summer of laughs with the Monsters Night of Comedy. Join us Thursday, May 22nd for this epic night of laughs at the Funny Bone in Orlando. Hosted by Russ Rollins with the Angel of Boom DJing the event and headlined by Ryan Holmes. With special appearances by Ken Miller, Savannah Angelique, the Dancing Queen, and Daisy Del Toro. Get ready for an epic Monsters Night of Comedy Thursday, May 22nd. Special thanks to Mills Air. General admission tickets are on sale now at realradio.fm/comedy.
Hey guys, not feeling like yourself? Visit Game Day Men's Health, one of the nation's largest men's health clinics, specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED treatments, medical weight loss, and shockwave therapy, with locations in Winter Park, Lake Mary, and downtown. They can create a customized game plan for you. Set up your free testosterone testing consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Mention 104.1 and get a second service free when you buy one. Game Day Men's Health, helping men perform and feel their best.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Get Factory Direct custom-made impact windows installed before hurricane season starts. Hi, Celine here for Reese Windows and Doors, where they've been installing affordable, high-quality impact windows for over 50 years. At Reese, most impact windows are installed in just 6 to 8 weeks, and now you can win them for free. Just text the word WOW to 20129 for your chance to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Text WOW to 20129.
Mornings are unpredictable. But West 2 News Sunrise can get your day started on the right track.
We have team coverage this morning
with breaking news and what's happening now. Breaking this morning, investigators. Central Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Central Florida is under a first warning severe weather warning day.
And up-to-the-minute traffic to simplify your morning commute.
Impacting traffic exiting at that ramp this morning.
Jason, Meredith, Sonica, Kellyanne, and Megan. West 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
On the next Access Hollywood.
10 years after her terrifying robbery in Paris, Kim Kardashian takes the stand, confronting the criminals for the first time. Then the Kelsey brothers on their Mother's Day surprise, and Kylie's claim that Jason has no game. Plus, Tony nominees Nicole Scherzinger and Audra McDonald have their Oprah dreams come true.
I just gave her the biggest hug, and she just embraced me, and it's a really important moment for me in my life I will never forget.
Next, Access Hollywood. Hey, Mario Lopez here. Please join me for Access Hollywood tonight at 7:30 on West 2.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Jeep brand has always stood for American freedom. And now we're standing with you with Employee Pricing Plus. Hurry into your Jeep brand dealer for details today and join the family. Jeep, there's only one. Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Jeep brand vehicles for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. Ends June 2nd, 2025. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
The accident wasn't your fault. The medical bills shouldn't be your responsibility. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. After an accident, you don't want to get stuck with a pile of medical bills. I will fight to get those bills paid. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Rebath.com.
Do you love your kids? Send them to Crush Yard Summer Camp, where every day is packed with pickleball, ping pong, arcade games, crafts, cornhole, and more. It's active, creative, and tons of fun. Plus, lunch is included. More than just a camp, it's a summer full of new friends, confidence building, and unforgettable memories. With flexible scheduling and affordable pricing, it's easy to plan your summer your way. Spots are filling fast. Sign up now at crushyard.com/camps.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
How's it, Ohana? Oh, I got a bad microwave story for you. One evening, I might have been in the state of mind of about a half a tea bag, and I accidentally set the microwave to run for 60 minutes instead of setting the timer. 20 minutes in, the cooling fan comes on, and I'm like, hey, what's up? I won't even tell you the amount of heat coming off that thing. And fortunately, there was no incident. Fortunately. Learned my lesson that night. Aloha.
Aloha, brother. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Your 6 o'clock keyword is bills, BILLS. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000, guys. Bills, that'll do it. That is your 6 o'clock keyword. We wish you the very best. Again, just slide over to realradio.fm and send that off, and then turn your phone on, keep it near you, and answer it when it rings. That's how they tell you you've won. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
What?
Scott Brown waiting in the wings. I just went there to talk to him. What a suave and debonair young man that dude is. It was nice to see his buddy, though, Greg Rossler, last week. He did a very good job.
He's listening to that right now. I just sent him the link.
Is he really? That's funny. Sweet dude, man. We walked him out. He was so complimentary the entire time.
I knew Scott was in the lobby, and I just swung open the door. I said, Greg, come on in. And I look up. I'm like, oh, Scott.
Oh.
Hey, I know that we haven't done any Diddy updates today, but it still rolls on.
A Diddy date.
Yeah. Cassie took the stand today. Of course, Cassie is the one that was in the video.
Yeah, Cassie Ventura.
She's the one who dropped the bomb on him.
Yeah, well, and that's the one that we've been seeing the video, repeatedly of her being kicked in the hotel hallway. She testified today that Diddy forced her to stay awake for days to perform sex acts with other men. In an emotional testimony in Combs' sex crimes trial in New York, Ventura told jurors she also suffered physical abuse from Combs during their 10-year relationship. I did not realize
19 years old. She started dating this dude when she was a teenager, dude, 19.
And I loved her song.
Oh, and I think she's gorgeous, by the way. She is one of the most beautiful women.
Yeah, she is, absolutely. And one of the courtroom photographs or drawings that I saw that they did was him making the heart sign with his hands as she came into the courtroom.
That is a terrible look for him.
Which I hope the jury saw, because
what a terrible look.
For them to see him making the heart motion with his hands like he's Taylor Swift before she sits down to give this riveting testimony.
Yeah.
I would hope that for the people on the jury, they're like, oh, that's kind of a skilo kind of thing to do.
Isn't her husband like a bull rider, like a professional cowboy or something like that?
Yes,
I
is.
I got to tell you, I'd pay a little bit of money to see that dude and Diddy in a room. Just lock Diddy in a room with her husband that she's now like mega pregnant with.
Oh, my goodness,
I mean, double pregnant. And just watch this guy whip Diddy's ass from one side of that room to the other. It's got to be infuriating to be in that room as her husband, even as support system, which, he's got to do. But, I mean, it must be infuriating to sit there and listen to this beautiful little girl and how she's been treated for a decade. And it started immediately, by the way. If you read any of this stuff, I mean, it was within months that she was experiencing abuse of this nature. And she was completely head over heels in love with him, too.
His name is Alex Fine.
Yeah. Is he a good-looking dude? Well, I mean, she said... Okay, Deb. Are you going to be okay? Do we need to give you a minute? Should I drop the lights?
Lower, slower.
Should I turn my head? Yeah. So I don't know how long she's going to be on the stand. I think obviously she's going to be, they're going to ask her a lot of questions. She's the catalyst for why this really kind of came undone for him.
Yeah.
And
it'll be interesting to see how the prosecution, or rather the defense,
right. And I guess Diddy's mom is in the courtroom as well.
His mom is there. All of his kids are there. One kid from Monday's testimony, one of his children was not there. And apparently he has a lot of support in the gallery. Now, also, the other thing that we've been told is, of course, you had said that the court artist was doing him bad by making him look gray. And then we learned that you're not allowed to have hair color when you're in federal penitentiary. You're not allowed to change your look at all.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And then they said, I've heard some reports say that he's dressed almost like Mr. Rogers. He's wearing a gray sweater. Mm-hmm. He's all gray with his hair, his beard. Yeah. He's wearing glasses. Mm-hmm. He's walking. Think Harvey Weinstein, no longer the Hollywood mogul, but shuffling in like a little feeble old man. I couldn't have done this.
He's not wearing his Armani suits and his gator shoes.
The same thing with Gerard Depardieu, who was just found guilty. Of two assaults on
a set dresser and an assistant.
But they show video of him walking in. Of course, he's holding on to somebody.
Right.
Who,
it's like Bill Cosby.
It's like amazing how all these guys get so feeble.
You're virile 1 second until you're walking into the courtroom, and then you need assistance from AARP.
Well, that one serial killer did the same thing, right? Like
the Golden State Killer.
Yeah, Joseph, whatever. They wheel him in there and all hunched over in a wheelchair. And you're like, dude, nobody's buying this.
No, because then when you hear reports of what he's like in prison, when female guards come by or whatever, he's just as a nasty POS as he was the day they put him in prison.
Yeah, our boy Cowboy said, Jim, I rode bulls and I was a pro. I would crush Diddy.
Yeah, I bet.
He goes like, I've done your hand a couple times because I'm shaking his hand, and he just doesn't stop squeezing. You have to tell him it's hurting.
Yeah, stop doing that, by the way.
Yeah, you got to stop doing
that. We get it. You got a good grip.
When you're holding on for dear life, you're going to beat me. I hold golf clubs.
Right, exactly.
It's not for dear life. It's for fun.
I get it, right? I get it.
All right, so they are making a Siegfried and Roy movie. This is an Apple TV Plus series.
Right.
So I guess it's going to be one of these bio series. Is that what we call these days?
That means Will Ferrell isn't going to be in it.
Will Ferrell is not going to be in it.
Darn.
It's called Wild Things. It takes its inspiration from Wild Things, Siegfried and Roy, the Apple original podcast, which is the first in-depth podcast series about the most famous and controversial magicians in history. I would agree with that. They're pretty darn controversial. It's only because you don't know all the stuff about David Copperfield yet. When you find that out, you're going to be scared.
Well, their controversy, wouldn't you say, it has to do with the animals,
It does, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Is the fact that they had them in, they were in captivity, they were basically being used as fodder for a show.
David Copperfield, that's the kind of guy who, following a potential courtroom scene, he'll be feeble and holding on to someone to hold him up.
Yeah. He won't be so magic soon, maybe.
He's always creeped me out.
So who do you think is going to play these characters? I find it kind of interesting because these are big players. These are big players. Matter of fact, one of these guys was part of a massive movie franchise. And the other one is like a big-time heartthrob who has been in major movies. Both of these guys have been...
Matt Damon.
No, that's a great guess. A little too old.
Yeah.
And not as whimsy.
I was going to say Harry Styles.
I think you're a little closer.
Daniel Radcliffe.
That's another great guess. Think superhero for one of them.
Helmsworth? No.
Tobey Maguire.
Andrew Garfield. Who played Spider-Man, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield and Jude Law.
Wow.
These are the stars for the new Siegfried and Roy movie called Wild Things. I have to tell you, I'm kind of interested in this. They really were a fascinating duo, and that whole thing was, would you say they were the last of the Gilded Age of Vegas? Before like your Chris,
Well,
what's the Chris Angel? Before that, and the food guys started coming in.
Yeah.
That was like the last big show, big animal, MGM. Lions and tigers and magic and stuff.
When a Vegas residency wasn't a former touring musician, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Sinatra kind of had it too, and.
But I mean, that was way before this.
Yeah,
I mean, we talking about set shows. I think their show had to have been one of the last of the golden age of Vegas shows.
Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
right?
but no animals or magic. I'm talking about the whole thing that is the glitz and glamour of Vegas. I mean, and I know Neil Diamond is a glitz and glamour kind of guy.
It would also be David Copperfield, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
for the Vegas Magic, the big Vegas Magic.
Because then
Magic show.
It slid into like your Penn and Teller kind of shows or your Chris Angel kind of shows. Mind Freak and stuff like that.
And then all previous America's Got Talent winners.
Right. Yeah.
Those magicians seem to feed that.
And then the residency thing happened, which we never thought in a million years, because Vegas for musicians, as far as I knew, and the ones I've talked to over the years, looked at Vegas like a cruise ship.
Or like Branson is.
Right, like Branson, Missouri. That's where you went to play when you didn't want to go and do anything else anymore.
And just like those things, and also like how what movie was or television was to movie actors.
Yes.
It was something looked down on until it wasn't.
Well, when the streaming thing happened and Netflix and Apple started making this super high quality, HBO started making super high quality television
Started with
series.
The Sopranos.
Yeah. And I mean, the actors are like, man, I can't get away from these scripts. I mean, actors want good parts with good scripts and good writing and great direction. And then all these other people are like, well, I mean, I can't make a big picture movie. There's only like 9 guys allowed to make big films, so I guess I'll go and do this.
And instead of a 90-minute movie, you're getting a 9-episode series. Yeah,
man, it's turning great. And the other thing is the stand-up thing. When Carrot Top went out to do a residency in Vegas, I remember talking to him about it, and he goes, "Man, the road is just brutal. The road is brutal. Why not have a place where you can just have the people come to you?"
Can you believe that he's been there about 20 years now?
Dude, it's crazy.
Isn't it amazing? I saw a clip online of him, and I got to see him. Have you seen him in Vegas?
Yes.
Yeah, and same theater. It's just
one of the best shows on the Strip, buddy.
Yeah, and
it's one of the best shows on the Strip.
And he's just living life, man,
and just killing it. And he doesn't gamble. He doesn't gamble.
Smart.
And you know where he learned that from? He learned it from watching Louis.
Louis Anderson?
Yeah, Louis Anderson he would go and make his check and then go into the casino and gamble it away.
Yeah.
And he told me it was one of those cautionary tales where he would watch and loved Louis.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when Louis passed, I text Carrot Top and I said, "Hey man, I'm so sorry," because he and Louis were very good friends. And I texted him to tell him, that I was sorry to hear and he was like, "Yeah, it's a drag," because Louis was the greatest, but yeah, an interesting thing. And then, of course, now the residency for comics is fine out there. Nobody really looks down on it. And the residency for giant bands with the Sphere and other places like that, nobody looks down on it anymore.
And maybe it's cool because our contemporaries are doing it, right?
Yeah.
The people we grew up watching and appreciating and following are now the ones feeding that entertainment need in Vegas. So to us, the level has risen. But I don't know, maybe 30 years ago to an older generation, it's the same, because to them, that was top of the line entertainment.
Sure, yeah. And it's like now when you see a band playing a cruise ship or whatever, you go, "Oh man, have they fallen on hard times because they're playing cruise ships?"
Yeah.
And for the longest time, for comics and for bands, that would be one of the last things you wanted to do because it didn't have that same provenance as a touring show, I don't even think that works anymore. These shows are some of the great. You go to any of the big cruise lines, and you're going to see quality ass entertainment.
Yeah,
I mean you are. I mean the local talent they hire and bring on those boats is damn good.
I know it. My daughter's singing on one right now.
All right, 407-916-1041. Again, you can always text our show 77031. Bills is your 6 o'clock keyword. That's BILLS. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Back with our buddy Scott Brown with It's Only Money right after this.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. Keep an eye out for an accident getting cleared up on I-4 westbound approaching County Road 46A. There's a crash on the Greenway northbound before Redbug Lake Road, slowing down traffic there. A disabled vehicle's getting cleared up on Florida's Turnpike northbound before Scrub J Lane. Traffic slowing down on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area. The roadways are busy tonight, so travel with caution. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go. But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where our trained technicians only pour premium Valvoline oil for a quick and easy stay in your car oil change. Go to VIOC.com for money-saving coupons.
Let's get you that roof that you can really depend on with our friends over at Eustace Roofing. In 2021, these guys were the National Roofing Company of the Year. And if you need any other convincing, how about this? In the roofing business, they've been in Florida since 1959, 65 years. Guys, that is unbelievable. When you consider they have 4.9 Google rating with over 1,000 reviews, you know they do a great job. Not to mention, they take great pride in running a very clean work site. They have no interest financing. They serve all of Central Florida, and they are metal roofing experts, which means they actually manufacture that roof on site with the equipment so it fits perfectly. And they may be able to satisfy your insurance carrier by either cleaning or rejuvenating your roof. That adds years to it. So get with these guys for a free estimate. It's EustaceRoofing.com. Again, that's EustaceRoofing.com.
New Year's resolution is to buy a home? Get your free buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Alpha Foundations comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection with Alpha Foundations and visit alphafoundations.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram. Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. N6225. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Divorce can feel like a minefield. One wrong step, and your finances, your family, and your future could suffer. Before making a big decision, talk to the attorneys at TK Law. We can help you navigate the legal process, protecting what matters most. With better representation, you get better results. Call TK Law today and take the first step toward a smarter, more secure future. Visit onefirmforlife.com. Offices in Altamont Springs. That's onefirmforlife.com.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When disaster strikes, trust Paul Davis Restoration. Look, emergencies can happen anytime, leaving your property in disarray without warning. Whether it's a fire, flood, mold, or storm damage, the remediation and restoration experts at Paul Davis are here to help. With 24/7 emergency service availability and a 30-minute response window, we can confidently bring fast, practical solutions to residential and commercial property owners. If your home or business has been damaged by fire, water, or storm, call Paul Davis Restoration, here to help 24/7, 407-629-6700 or orlando.pauldavis.com.
Allergies are torture, but Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you beat your allergies for good. Exact is clinically proven to give long-term lasting allergy relief in 3 injections. That's right, allergy relief in 3 injections. No matter how long you've suffered, no matter what else you've tried, with 3 injections, you can experience relief from your allergies. Exact from Aspire Allergy and Sinus. Go to aspireallergy.com to book your appointment today. aspireallergy.com.
Made for This Mountain exists to empower listeners to rise above their struggles and face the mountain in front of them. So during Mental Health Awareness Month, focus on your emotional well-being. Tune into the podcast and climb that mountain.
You will never be able to change or grow through the thing that you refuse to identify. The thing that you refuse to say, hey, this is my mountain. This is the struggle.
Listen to Made for This Mountain on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Made for This Mountain.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We appreciate that, as we do every day. Our boy Sauce will be in tomorrow. And, of course, he'll be in on Thursday all day long, which we're really excited about. Tomorrow we also have Animal House coming up as well. All kinds of fun stuff tomorrow. So stay tuned in. More opportunities for you to win $1,000. Bills is your 6 o'clock keyword, BILLS. Go to realradio.fm and send that out for your chance at $1,000.
Scott Maxwell tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that's right. Scott Maxwell tomorrow. I'm Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here.
What's up?
Not much, buddy. Let's do It's Only Money.
Helping people passionate about planning for their future rise above investment myths to build real wealth. Isn't that really just common sense financial advice? It's both.
It's both.
Okay. It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
Good and loud for our man, Mr. Scott Brown.
Hey, he's back.
EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com, EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com. Go there to make your consultation. We'll tell you how to do that a little bit later. Mr. Brown, how are things?
Things are good. So I was surprised I was allowed to come back because I listened to Greg's bit last week, and I'm like, are they going to allow me to come back? Because he was good.
He was very good.
He is so good.
Telling you that guy's good.
Dude is nails, too.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be a sweeter guy.
Oh, he's the best. He's actually irritating how sweet he is.
I was walking out. He actually bumped into me and broke my arm.
Yeah. I heard you carrying on about how jacked he was, and I immediately went to the gym.
Man, he is so knowledgeable, and I got to tell you the thing, and you can see this in people's eyes. I know that you probably the same way, but you can see how much that dude really wants people to learn about this stuff, so it makes their life better. That he permeates that.
Oh yeah, no, he's a true professional.
Yeah, I love it.
Like I tell this to my team all the time, and when we have young advisors, and Greg obviously doesn't need to be told, he exudes this, but is you can either lead or sell. Right? And people don't want to be sold. They want to be led. And Greg is a true leader and a true professional. He's not out there selling anybody. I mean, the irony is he's very successful, right?
Yeah.
But he's successful because he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you are not going to ask that guy a question about Medicare or Social Security that he doesn't know.
And he was explaining it like he was telling it to his own mom for her own benefit. I'm not kidding. That's kind of how it came off.
That's his gift, right? To take something very complicated and explain it so well to people who might have no knowledge of it in an economy of words.
Yeah,
he's awesome. Let's stop talking about him.
The other day it's like one of those
Probably
guys
deserves more money, right?
Yeah. That's enough. All right, moving on. Next topic.
All right, we'll see you next week, Scott.
Yeah. This was great. I appreciate you guys having me on.
And the only place
Jack
to
looked
connect
actually
with him,
disappointed when I got off the elevator.
and the only place where you can find Greg is at Edgewater Family.
That
Law.
is true. Thank you. Thank you. You can stop by and say hello to me if you want to.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Usually every week you send some stuff for us to talk about. Scott, obviously a fiduciary here in Orlando for about almost 40 years. Edgewater Family Wealth, been there on Edgewater Drive for quite a while, giving people sage advice on how to take care of their money and make it grow for them and last throughout their lives so they can enjoy the life they want to in retirement. That's basically the system that we're pushing. And it's just simple, common sense logic using the knowledge you've gained over 40 years in this business and hopefully, making people kind of pay attention to, goals that they want to achieve as they kind of age a little bit and move toward that time.
Yeah, I mean, again, this isn't rocket science. It's like anything. It's not complicated, but it's hard. You know, to save is hard. It's difficult in this day and age to put money aside. But if you do, and everybody wants to, I don't even think anybody gets out of bed in the morning and says, I don't want to be successful at this. They obviously do, and they see people who are successful. And one of the things I sent you this morning, I heard a couple of weeks ago, and I stole this from a friend of mine, but she is a very successful advisor in Pennsylvania, and she was talking about something she has noticed in people. If you have a couple come in, and one of them has FOMO, and one of them has something she calls FORO. And FOMO is obviously the fear of missing out, right? So you have the one spouse who's a little bit of a spender. They want to go on all the trips. They want to do all the things. They want to have the new car every 5 years and all those sort of things. But then you have the other spouse who's FORO, which is the fear of running out, right? And that's legit. And sometimes they don't know that about each other, right? They'll come into my office and they'll start talking, and one of them I'll be making my list for them. Okay, so you want to travel for the first 10 years of your retirement. You want to spend $8,000 on that, and then you want to get a new car every 3 years. And then somebody says, whoa! What do we need a new car every 3 years for, right? And then that spouse speaks up, whether it's whichever one it is. One of them speaks up and says, we don't need a new car every 3 years. They've never even talked about this,
right? Yeah,
they just came in. He spits it out, and she jumps on it. Right, so they're just finding out for the first time on my couch that they don't really agree on this stuff.
That's great.
So I think it's critical when we think about going in to see an advisor, or even if you're not planning on using an advisor, when you have to figure out who you're married to, first of all, because, and obviously if you've made it this far in life, things are probably going okay, but now that you're getting no,
Scott, though, but it's interesting because I think a lot of people go through their entire lives and don't talk about finance because neither one of them want to do it. I've dealt with this in my life before as well, where you were with somebody for a very long time, and finance was one of those weird things that you never wanted to bring. You could talk about anything else, but when finances came up, it was so touchy because you weren't sure what your partner really wanted, and vice versa. So you almost didn't want to cross that bridge as to find out that you didn't agree on something.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I mean, I've had people kind of look at each other sideways in meetings on the couch where they're like, well, this actually happened to me where the wife was not pleased about the boat that had been purchased.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
He was more the FOMO.
I know a guy like that.
Yeah, he was more of the FOMO, and she was the fear of running out person, and it bothered her.
Right.
To the point where it was a little awkward for a minute in the room. Now, as you can imagine, that boat didn't last very long after that. But the reality was that they hadn't had the conversation, and while it was awkward for a second in front of me, it was nice that they were able to reach a mutual understanding on that boat and what it meant to their possibility of a successful retirement outside of the boat.
And it goes back to what we talked about 100 times. The hardest question in life is, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? I mean, and people as a couple sometimes don't look at each other. They think they know. They think they know somebody well enough, but they really don't know. You've not had that conversation sometimes. It's a difficult one because when you deal with money, it's one of those weird, sensitive situations that nobody wants to kind of approach because they're not really sure where the other person stands.
And sometimes the spouse that's the more conservative one, for lack of a better way to put it, they grin and bear it for a long, there she goes again, or there he goes again.
Right.
And they kind of deal with it. It can be a source of contention for people, to your point. So again, I think when you come into a financial advisor's office, you need to have that conversation. And I think part of it is accountability, right? Because if nobody's accountable to the other one, then neither one are accountable, and they can't be faced with the concept that they might not be where they need to be.
Right. And then think of the relief when you walk out of there, and then you've acted almost as like a mediator and explained to both of these guys that both of their goals can be achieved if they work together and kind of move toward this plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's called compromise. I think we can do it. Not always in marriages, but we try.
Yeah, we try hard.
Right. And in my case, I do what I'm told, like most men. But the reality is that that if you haven't had this conversation, especially in retirement, when everybody's working and there's some money flow coming in, it's less of a problem or can be less of a problem. But when there's no more money coming in and your nest egg is what's required to generate the income you need to have fun, do your travel, buy your whatever, this conversation is critical. It has to happen.
Absolutely.
So I would urge people before they come to see an advisor, or even if they're not going to see an advisor, is to sit down at the kitchen table with the yellow pad and say, what is it you want? What is it you think? I've even had this conversation with my wife, and I've been doing this forever, right? And I'm like, what do you think our retirement's going to look like? What is it you want to do? I know she loves to travel, and I'm like, okay, well, we need to figure out that. What does it cost? Are we all going to
travel? Are we RVing? Are we flying?
Right.
Are we driving? What are we doing?
Is it domestic?
Right.
Is it abroad? How are we doing this, right?
Yeah.
And so again, finding out what the other person wants can go a long way towards both of you figuring out what you need to do.
Absolutely. I bet it would be quite a relief to be on the same page with that. I bet it really would.
Yeah, I think so, and I think for the two of you, I've had a couple in over the last month or so where I could tell they weren't on the same page. It wasn't spoken,
right?
And they didn't really come. Yeah, but they weren't coming clean with one another. I could tell one of them wanted to embrace the planning idea a little more than one of them had kind of been dragged in, I could tell, and wasn't super happy about it, and did relent, but I still felt when they left we hadn't reached any major conclusions, and I worried about that.
And I think it's super important that you go with your partner, regardless of where you are,
100%.
but because that way you don't have to relate issues. There can be no lost in translation situations. You can both look at it and go, well, we heard the same thing. Now we know what we need to apply to move toward that goal.
And the problem if you come by yourself, if let's say you're the financial spouse, because in most households one or the other spouses is more financially interested than the other, and they may consider by default you're the financial spouse. If you come in and you sit with me and you spend 2 hours planning, there's going to be an element of resentment by the other spouse, whether they chose not to go or not, or if they said, I don't want to go. There's always going to be, I'm going to be, that's your guy.
Right.
What did your guy say, right? Because they weren't there.
Right.
They didn't get to hear what I said, and now I'm his guy or her guy.
Instead of our guy.
Right, instead of our guy. So again, a lot of times household dynamics are that you handle the money and I do this other thing, right? But I don't think towards the end of your working career and the beginning of your retirement career, I don't think that should be a thing anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
And frankly, if one of you dies, if the financial spouse passes, you're going to wish that I was your guy. You're going to wish you were in that meeting.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Best education is one-on-one. It says here, find a mentor if you're a young person because arrogance is expensive.
Yeah.
And boy, doesn't that apply across so many different lines?
It applied to me. I can promise you that over my early years. Yeah. There were some expensive lessons I learned.
So did you find a mentor when you were young?
I did. And to this day, I have a mentor or two. There are people who maybe are 10 years my senior whose advice I seek. So if I'm not sure about a business move or, obviously I've advanced in the things I worry about financially, but early on, yes, I found people there. I had an uncle who was pretty successful. He wasn't like super rich or anything, but he was that guy.
Yeah.
Like everybody in the family knew oh, he's successful. He's thoughtful. He's not obnoxious. He doesn't have, a fancy car or anything, but we knew he knew his stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And I was the only one that I can tell to this day, whoever went to him and said, hey man, how did you do this? What should I be thinking about? First of all, you should stop doing that stupid thing and stop doing that stupid thing. And I'm glad you asked. And the funny thing is in everybody's family, like if I went to everybody's Thanksgiving dinner and there were 15 family members, the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the weird grumpy guy or whatever.
Hey, easy.
And that's you, Jim, typically Jim. I could tell, I bet you in about an hour, I could tell you who that person was, that gal or that guy. No, that's the person you need to talk to. And the funny thing about successful people is they will talk your ear off. So, the best education we have is one-on-one. If when my daughter was in college and she was struggling with calculus or chemistry or whatever, I was too stupid to help her. So she had to get a tutor, yes? And that was the best way for her to learn rather than in a room full of 30 or 40 people.
Sure thing.
So going back to that concept, if there's someone in your family and you know who they are, right now, everybody listening is like, I can think of that person.
It was my Uncle Frank when I was growing up.
There you go. So everybody that's listening is thinking, oh, that's whoever, Uncle Frank, Aunt Sue, whoever it is. They will, if you go to them, first of all, they will be so flattered and so jacked up to tell you what they've learned. And they won't have all the answers, but they'll have a lot of answers you don't have as a 20-year-old or a 30 or maybe even a 40-year-old. So my point in telling you this is to your point, I have mentors to this day who I'll say, I'm thinking about doing this business thing, or I'm thinking about making this financial move, buying a new house or whatever it is. Tell me what I'm missing. And they will flat out tell me what I'm missing.
And that's the perfect question.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what I'm missing. What am I missing here? It seems too good to be true. Where are the pitfalls here I don't see? Because sometimes when you get involved with something like that, all you see is the good side, and you don't really take the time to look at the bad side because you want it so bad.
Yeah, you're biased because it's your idea.
Right,
I have this
exactly.
idea and it's great. Don't you dare tell me it's not a great idea that I put all my money in crypto, right? So, again, I think ultimately that's what people are. They're missing the opportunity. There's a wealth of information out there in other people. And if you find those people, whether it's a professor or a boss or an aunt or an uncle, they're out there. And again, I'm telling you, if you said, let me buy you lunch, let me tell you what I'm trying to do. I see that you're reasonably successful. What are the pitfalls? What landmines should I look out for? What are some simple things I should be doing right now that in 20 years will make a big difference to me?
And I know that you leaned on, Charlie Munger a lot. You and I both quote Charlie Munger and
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, who just announced his retirement
He did.
or stepping down from the day-to-days of Berkshire Hathaway. And I know that you have quoted, and we have both kind of paid attention. Are there books from people like that you read, you lean on occasionally? Because you say here one-on-one, it is important to get in front of somebody who's actually experienced it, right? Rather than somebody who is a hedge fund billionaire who's spitting out stuff that you might not be able to grasp.
Yeah, it said the average American reads less than one book a year.
Yeah.
So I'm an avid reader. Since I was a kid, them Hardy Boy days.
Yeah.
But I read biographies. But in this day and age of the podcast, I'm just putting it out there. There are so many business leaders that are rambling on for hours. You could literally get up in the morning and listen to podcasts by billionaires. There are billionaires doing podcasts that you can listen to. Charlie's on all kinds. There's a podcast, I'll pitch it right now. It's a David Senra, who's a UCF guy, started a podcast called Founders Podcast. I'm just giving it out there, free information. He does an hour biography on famous entrepreneurs once a week. He's done 400 of them.
Damn.
Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, all the way down to people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. What drives these people? What makes, the Tyson Chicken guy tick? What makes Mark Cuban tick? What makes Rockefeller tick? This information we live in such an amazing time that this information is so readily available. I'm 60 years old. I listen to a podcast or two every single morning because I'm looking for an advantage. I'm looking for something I don't know.
Right.
I'm looking for what dumb thing am I doing right now that I shouldn't be doing.
Right. Or what thing that I should be doing that everybody else is doing I'm not paying attention to. There's a bunch of stuff out there like that when you catch it like that. And that one, you never know when it's going to trip you either. You never know when you that little thing you go, damn.
Right.
That's what I've been missing this entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to come up with original ideas. There's a lot of good ones to steal. I mean, most of the things you hear me spew out on this show, I've stolen from somebody. I probably owe a lot of money to somebody.
All right. Well, let's get these kind of, it says you've, let's get to the consultations. I want to make sure people all understand this. You say you've been doing a lot of 401k consulting and stuff.
Yeah, we have been. I want everybody to know that, 401ks can be bewildering to people sometimes. Like, what should I be in? I'm this age. I have this much money, but I have these fund choices. They're just ticker symbols. I don't even know what they are, which is true of most people. We get a lot of phone calls at the office where somebody will say, can I send you my statement? Or can I bring by my statement, have you look at it, and help me choose the allocations? And in 15 or 20 minutes, we can kind of set you on the path, right? It won't be perfect forever, but you should probably once every 6 months get with somebody and say, here are my allocations. I'm this old. I have this long to retirement. And we can pretty much, if you have a 401k, we can't manage the money for you because it's obviously at your employer. But the reality is we can help set you on the path so that you do it properly.
Yeah, and even with the Fidelity ones, of course, that's self-managed by them. Would you even suggest somebody who has had theirs managed by a company like Fidelity to also still have a second pair of eyes, take a peek at that, and make sure that the money's where it's supposed to be? Or is that something that you just kind of let Fidelity do their job because they know what they're doing?
Well, I mean, I think, again, I think Fidelity knows what they're doing, but I also think they may not know you as well as somebody you're sitting in front of, because that's typically a 1-800 number or some kind of algorithm on the computer.
Right.
So I would say that those are good, those models that they put together, and sometimes you pay a little extra for those. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's broken, but I would say adding the financial planning component where you get like a little one-pager that says you're on track or you're not on track, and here's how much more you should save. And there are a lot of features in 401ks where they have where they'll automatically increase your contribution every year. So if you say, I'm going to start at 3%, but every year for the next 5 years, I want you to take me up 1%. And sometimes people even forget it happened.
Right.
Next thing they know, they got 50, 60, 80, 100 grand in the account.
Yeah, I actually just bumped mine. They have a plan where you can even add more to it because of maybe you didn't choose the right selection earlier in your 401k life. You know, and you want to make up that money. They even have Fidelity even has a button where you can click there and it'll actually add extra percentages to your savings as well.
Well, you're old now too, so you get to put more. When you're over 50, you get to put more money in it. So that's one good thing about being older.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so if you want to make that consultation, EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com, go to the pull down bar, and anything else they need to do after that?
No, I mean, you go to EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com, pull down the consult. Also, obviously, the books are there. I Never Made Anybody Rich, and I Got a Guy, which is a guide to using a fund. So even if you don't use us, you can get the guide off the website if you're listening to this somewhere and you think, well, that's too far to go. P.S., we are working on an event for Brevard County.
Are you really?
Yeah, we are. So we should have that to you in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited. We're getting a lot of people from Cocoa Beach calling in, a lot of engineers and whatnot. That's happening a lot, so we're going to do an event out there.
It's so funny because we just had a gig, our Boozy Brunch gig that was down in Baldwin Park. I think we had probably 15 or 20% of the people came from the coast.
Yeah.
Melbourne and that area over there. They love us over there.
We're
and they're
big
like,
over there.
And they're like, why don't you come over here? I'm like, well, nobody will pay us to come over there. I mean, the station has to make money for us to go out.
Right.
We would love to go over there and just hang out. So hopefully we'll have another gig out there on that side of town as well. So
so Brevard County, we're coming.
We'll double dip it.
You got it.
I mean,
good
they
seeing you.
adore
Likewise.
Jimmy over there.
Yeah, they adore me.
They got like a statue.
Where do they not adore Jimmy?
I think it's Jack they like.
Well, Palm Bay, I think.
yeah, I got that one fight in Palm Bay. They don't care for me. You heard it here first, young lady?
Yeah, a teen is sentenced after killing 3 during a joyride. Publix recalls baby food here in Florida. And a former residence of Pope Leo XIV is for sale. We'll talk about that next during You Heard It Here First.
You got it. All right, we'll take a little break. Come back and do You Heard It Here First. Get the hell out of here on a Tuesday.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Jessica Dobson. For the check of our forecast, and the rest of our day does feature a good mix of sunshine and clouds. We do have about a 10% chance of a stray, isolated downpour. These, if at all, will be brief. Temperatures will be warming up, but not quite as hot as what we would typically see for this time of year. A high of around 85 degrees today in Orlando. Temperatures will continue to climb throughout the rest of this week into the weekend, nearing the mid-90s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by FreshFromFlorida.com.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting FreshFromFlorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes us different. Our vans are fully stocked, so when you call, our fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, we got you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit us online to schedule your repair. Precision Garage Door, garage doors done right.
Spring is here, the perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Experience the Janney difference and save up to $2,000 this season. Join a community of thousands of happy homeowners.
To go ahead and do it right the first time so that you don't have to hire another company to fix what the company should have done right. And I feel like that's Janney Roofing.
Get started at JanneyRoofing.com.
Offer only applies on full roof replacement and expires May 31st, 2025.
Warmer temperatures are already here. Don't get caught sweating. For a limited time, AirProsUSA.com is offering an AC tune-up for just $79 and avoid breakdowns. That's right, only $79. Count on the pros at AirPros USA to ensure your system runs at peak performance. Book your $79 AC tune-up today. Visit AirProsUSA.com. That's AirProsUSA.com.
Limited time offer. Can't be combined with other offers. License number CAC 1822083, CFC 053314, EC 13010393.
When dealerships compete for your trade, you win at Greenway Kia. Trade your car with us and over 40 Greenway dealerships will compete to buy it. So you get the best possible value, as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value. Wondering what your trade is worth? Get your appraisal online at greenwaykias.com or visit us at East Colonial, West Colonial, and 1792 North in Longwood. I'm Joe Rossi, and Greenway Kia proudly thanks all active and retired military members for your service.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced.
Future health, weight loss.
Want to try Ozempic but can't stand needles? You need to try oral semaglutide. It has the same active ingredient as Ozempic, but without the painful injections. Get access to oral semaglutide right now at futurehealth.com. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Future Health makes it easy and affordable to gain access to weight loss meds like oral semaglutide, Ozempic, and Zepbound for only $3 a day, all from futurehealth.com. These meds eliminate hunger and cravings, while Future Health handles the rest. Easy. Plus, the best part? You don't need insurance or have to go to a doctor's office. Just a quick, easy process, all online. Get the best results at the best price with Future Health. Take the 3-minute quiz at futurehealth.com, get approved, and start losing weight this week. Visit futurehealth.com. That's futurehealth.com. Future without the E.
Future health, weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider. Meds are prescribed at provider's discretion.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Life is busy. Luckily, Racetrack's here to keep you on track every day.
Running around and the time makes you nervous. Are you still a mom or just a taxi service?
With ice-cold drinks, hot pizza, freshly ground coffee, and even Swirl World frozen yogurt for the kids.
The schedule is packed with things that they have to do, but with so much to choose from, you'll find something for you.
Racetrack is here to keep you going.
Racetrack's gonna get you through.
Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Need help navigating your will or trust? Visit onefirmforlife.com today for your free consultation.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan.
Hey friends, our friends at TK Law want to remind us to look ahead, so we will look ahead on Real Radio tomorrow morning on the Monsters Wednesday edition. Friendly Ray Trenley will be in studio along with Amber Nova and Ryan discussing further his medical condition, which might prevent him from playing golf. Hey, it happens tomorrow on the Monsters. Don't forget to look ahead with the team at TK Law. Plan your family's future. Visit onefirmforlife.com.
You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We appreciate that, as we do every single day. Got a few minutes left for your 6 o'clock keyword. It's Bills, B-I-L-L-S. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000. Tom and Dan will have a couple more chances for you in just a few. One big thanks for our buddy Scott Brown dropping by today. It's only money.
Glad to be here.
Every Tuesday, 6:20, you can drop by for some sage financial advice. If you don't get that here, you can certainly go to edgewaterfamilywealth.com, go to the consult area in the pull-down bar, and make yourself a consultation and yak this guy's face off.
Love it.
About your coin.
Got a couple ebooks up there, don't you?
I do. I have the Never Made Anyone Rich, that book that everybody loves the title of.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a guy, which is a guide to using a financial advisor. So if you're thinking about doing such a thing, it's a good way to get started.
Do it, and those are free. You download
they
that
are
right
free.
there. Absolutely.
Edgewater Family Wealth. I almost forgot the name of my website. That's not good. EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com.
Very good. All right. Let's do You Heard It Here first.
It's time for You Heard It Here First on The Jim Colbert Show.
And this is a follow-up to a story that we've actually been covering for a while, but the sentence is in. A Hialeah teenager was sentenced today to 15 years in prison in connection with the April 2024 deaths of 3 women. If you remember, in February, 16-year-old Maycall Santos Esteban pleaded guilty in the case. He could have faced between 28 and 65 years in prison. Maybe his father is saying, listen, please remember he's still young, and he could still have a life after he gets out of prison.
Was he running from the cops when this happened?
He was not. Police say Maycall, then 15, was driving nearly 55 miles an hour over the speed limit in his father's car on a joyride, just grabbed the keys in the middle of the night, went, on a joyride, couple of friends, doesn't have a driver's license. He's only 15. When he slammed into a parked vehicle, killing 2 women who were pronounced dead at the scene, while a third woman, one of the victims' mothers, died from her injuries months later rather. Now, in addition to prison time, he's going to spend 15 years on probation and will not be allowed to have a driver's license during that time.
Wow, man. Is this the kid that in the courtroom when they brought him in, he was literally shaking because they were about to, they were...
I can't remember. This one cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one cried when he heard it was going to be 15 years.
I bet.
So he'll be, 31 when he gets out?
Yeah. He should be thankful it's only 15 years.
He really should, because he could have faced between 28 and 65. He could have been a middle-aged man by the time he got out of prison.
Unbelievable, yeah.
But think about that with your kids, right? Telling them the dangers of joyrides.
Yeah.
All right, Publix is issuing a voluntary baby food recall in Florida and a few other states. So the Greenwise pear, kiwi, spinach, and pea baby food packets. They have a best by date of November 1st, 2025, but the recall is due to possible lead contamination. One of those things you don't want to feed infants.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying that's bad?
Customers can return the product for a full refund. So far, thankfully, no illnesses reported. And then finally...
Oh, hold on real quick. I will wreck some baby food peaches, by the way.
Oh,
I will, like a bear.
Who doesn't like baby food?
I will stick my entire face in the jar and lick every gram of those baby food peaches. Get out of here with that.
I would feed it to my kids, but I refuse to try it.
You didn't even try it?
He's a texture. He's got little texture babies. All
No,
nasty.
It's tasty. The berries and everything. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go buy some when I get
It's
out
like
of here.
puke orange, though.
Get out of here.
Well, it depends.
Isn't it puke orange?
Time for you to go.
Puke orange.
Talk about baby food and be adults. Trying out loud.
Pope Leo XIV's former residence in St. Louis is up for sale. The former Immaculate Conception Church and Rectory was listed in February for a mere $1.8 million. Robert Prevost lived in the rectory at the start of his journey to the priesthood. This would be between 1977 and 1978. The property, which closed as a church in 2005, is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, no, don't sell it. Let's turn it into something.
Yeah.
Be like a little museum for the
price.
Pope. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the best meme I've seen, or the best video I've seen on social in a while, is I guess this dude wasn't always a priest, of course, right?
No, it's like Francis was a bouncer.
There's a girl online whose son says, "Didn't you date this guy?" And then he goes, "Dude, my mom hooked up with the Pope." And sure enough, this guy, because she didn't know that he'd made it.
Oh,
and
no.
He called her like in this video and said, "Mom, you hooked up with the Pope." And she fell out. They were both, it's so funny. Yeah, check it out.
Well, you heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
That's so cool.
Who do we have to thank today?
We want to thank Scott Brown with Edgewater Family Wealth.
You guys can.
In case you missed his important information about money, you can already find his podcast on The Jim Colbert Show. And then last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that very much. Candace took her mom out to California I saw that on Facebook for a Mother's Day. It's pretty nice. Jack, question of the day.
Should Pete Rose be in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
I got to tell you, I think this is, what do you think, Scott?
I say yes.
Yeah. I think so as well. I think the majority of the audience say yeah. I'm going to say 88% say yes.
Oh, nice.
Did he call it?
86%.
Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, very nice. All right, very good. Tomorrow we have Animal House.
Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando.
Very nice. We'll also talk to Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel. 4 more opportunities for you to win $1,000. And our boy Ross P. will be here at 6 o'clock talking about his show coming up at the Fringe Festival, which actually does start tomorrow night. Matter of fact, I think he's doing it from the Fringe Festival.
Yeah, cool.
So we'll talk.
Wow.
We'll do all that tomorrow, plus some fun stuff to talk about as well. Let's get the hell out of here. Scott, always good seeing you, buddy.
Likewise.
EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com. Pull down on that consult area for your consultation and then download your free books. On behalf of Deb and Jack and Scott, I'm Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters in the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We will see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Tuesday evening.
See you tomorrow. Bye.